I'ma sell you ready on the radar. Yeah. Time for power streamers. Racing to another time. Chrono Morphers are online. Timeless wonders, fire and thunder. Off to save the world.
Man, what is up? What is up, y'all? Come on, man. We got Mr. He Said in the building. Time Force is in the building. Let's go. Let's go. Time Force is in the building, man. What's up, man? How you feeling today?
Everything's good, man. How you doing?
Man, doing pretty good, man. Glad to have you, man. We want to have you over here for a conversation, but I think today is a really good time to have it. I've been having Brother C on my mind for probably about the last month, man. So, I'm gonna bring my guy up here, man, so we can see his grin, man. So rest in peace, bro. C, man. Much love to you, man. And he created a tradition that I was fond of, just having the conversation with people. You know, he could control the mic on his own. He's much like you. I could get up here, I could talk 5 hours straight if I needed to, but I don't necessarily want to, so I'm gonna drop the link for y'all. And he would drop it for everybody. Anybody can come up. Anybody can talk, anybody can get it, man. So shout out to Bro C and the conversations he would have, man. Much love to him and his family. Definitely miss him in the space. Miss the conversations, miss the laughs.
Yep.
Yeah,
just man. The being able to coexist, man. I think that was operative and inspirational. Like we all were, new to the space and trying to create content and put our best foot forward. And even if we didn't see eye to eye on everything we were talking about, we still gave each other that space and that opportunity to build. You know what I mean? Whether we building up, whether we building sideways, whether we, as long as we building, I think that was the most important thing. And Brother C was definitely about that, and always, willing to listen to, outside parties and different perspectives. So shout out to him. He definitely stands out to me as a content creator.
Man, thanks, Yellow Man. I had to do a little something. Man. Once I realized we was doing Time Force, man, because y'all saw the thumbnail. Excuse me, the thumbnail has 1986 on. I was like, you know what? This is a Time Force operation. Del Monte Green Beans coming through on your channel. Hello, good to see you. I don't know if it's me blinking out. Let me see.
Nah, that was me. My bad. I dropped.
You good?
I don't know my keyboard. But yo, what up, Yella? Salute, man.
Yeah, Del Monte Green Beans in there. Red lipstick vibes on your side. Hello.
Popping. Hey, sis. So, dope intro, man. What was that? What was the inspiration for that?
It was like I said on the thumbnail. I think you were blinking out when I said it. On the thumbnail, once I realized this video that I pulled was from 1986, and then I kept doing research. The more research I went into, the further back I went. I went as far back as the 60s, and I realized like this is a Time Force operation. Like, this ain't just a string. This is Time Force.
Absolutely.
And shout out to Bro C, who was also the inspiration for Time Force. It was the Would You Kill Baby Hitler?
Come on now.
Yeah, and that's where Mr. He Said, myself, and I think even Yella decided to sign up for Time Force.
Come on now.
We'll go back and right the wrongs that nobody else is willing to do.
Visionary.
Shout out to OG Patrice in the building. One of the Let's Talk Better Black Life.
Hey, OG Patrice.
OG
Salute.
Patrice. Brother Clarence. Rico, man. So yeah, I've been missing my guy, man. Been missing him tough for about a month, but I didn't know what to do. So there was a conversation I had in my notes. I wanted to have it, and I was like, you know what? Today we're gonna have the conversation. And like he would, me and Mr. He Said gonna talk for a bit. Mr. He said it'll be like my bolo. We're gonna talk for about an hour or so, and then we're gonna drop the link. Anybody want to come up, have a conversation, can. OG, if you want to come up at any time, you can tell me anytime. You got the link whenever you want to, because this is honoring the work that you put in over there. So you can come up at any time if you want it.
Absolutely.
But for the general public, we'll drop the link in about an hour. Alonzo Hall in the building. Appreciate you.
I mean, and that's when authenticity was, you know, it's kind of like rap now that I look at it. Like, being original was important to us. Again, we didn't have to agree on everything, and it wasn't this utopia, but it was an organicness to it. Everybody was trying to grab some information, bring it to the people, put their spin on it, and now it just seems like, you know, I'm giving you all this information, but it ain't me, and this ain't necessarily how I feel, and I don't necessarily share the views of the host, and that's the difference for me. It seems a little more generic versus when we were all just trying to actually create content. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. And shout out to Mr. She Said in the building, man. Much love. Kitchen Medicine Cabinet. Good to see you. She Said in the building. All right. So listen, I know Yellow's going to slide through for a quick minute too before he heads to work, but I want to jump into the topic. I'm going to go back and forth between several videos, ask some questions, and at some point I actually built out some, you know, using my trusty Dusty AI. We have some visual aids as well. You know, some charts and graphs. Got all official on this mess. So listen, we are going to jump into it, and I'm going to pause several different times and ask you your thoughts, Mr. He Said, because I found it interesting. I found it interesting enough that we needed to travel through time to see if the issues that we've been talking about today between men and women are really modern. You know, modern women, these men today, and we've attributed a lot of it to certain time periods. And I think these attitudes predate even the crack epidemic and the crime bill. That's what my research is telling me, and I want to demonstrate to you. See if you can come, if you feel the way I feel, if you see it the way I do. See if we need to jump in.
I like it.
All right. So we are going to start with the first minute of this. Boom. If there is a video, if you are under the sound of my voice and you see me playing a video and you'd like to see the full thing, because I'm going to be chopping and screwing it like a DJ, let me know. I will drop the link in the description, or not the link in the description. I'll drop it in the chat, and then you can, you know, watch it at your convenience, because I will be going back and forth between several videos on several different platforms. So bear with me as we move. All right. So this is 1986 special report, The Vanishing Black Family. So this is where we're going to start. Power up the time van, 1986.
Time Force, unite.
Raise your hand if you're married. None of you are married. Raise your hand if you would like to be married to your baby's father. One.
Oh, Jesus.
Just one.
One.
You remember building this documentary? Yeah, okay. I might have missed that one. Yeah, this is crazy. One out of that whole group, all of them got kids.
Uno.
There's just one. How does that strike you? Because to hear it told today, this is a new thing that men are desired. The baby mama epidemic, blah, blah, all the different narratives that we've been hearing, like you talk, the talking points, all the talking points that we've been hearing. A lot of it has been attributed to being a new thing. This is not the way people really are. That's not how people feel. Let me see, what is it? The black man walked away from the home. It wasn't that he wasn't wanted. He wasn't wanted. I mean, he was wanted. He just walked away from it. But you see him right here. These are young women. These are not old, embittered, battered, abused, fences, Viola Davis women. These are young women, probably between 16 and 20, and they don't want to get married either. Again, it's 1986. Claire Huxtable was running around. That was on the TV. Hillman, different world. Shout out to Mr. He Said. So, why do you think the narrative? What up, Bo? Good to see you, Bo. Why do you think the narrative is that this is new?
Because I believe it's coming from younger people, so they might not have a certain frame of reference or care to to do the knowledge on the history. So they're just kind of jumping in from their point of insertion into this timeline, and then just using their, you know, frame of reference based on when they entered the story. And like you see, and like you say, this has been going on. So it's more of a mindset and a lack of celebration, in my opinion. If the men and the fathers were a little more celebrated, a little more considered, I think people would want them. When I say people, I mean these young ladies like her in the video, not having the celebration of men, or, you know, maybe men not being shit in her circle, or no women speaking up in regards to men for what they have to go through and things of that nature, kind of creates this to where they're not valuable. Valuable equals not needed. Not needed equals, you know, the video that we see.
Because it shocked me that only one raised her hand, and she's embarrassed to have raised her hand. Look, she turned around. She got to hide herself to say, I want to get married.
Shame.
Yeah.
Shame.
People.
Painful feeling. But no, and that's the groupthink that we all talk about. Again, I said everybody's been right since the first time. Like, they're very easily influenced. And even when you have an ideology, a mindset, a feeling, a concrete notation of, you still feel shame for your aspirations and wants, because the other 4 girls on the line don't share your ideology or mindset. And it's that lack of confidence, that easy to be swayed. That's what's dangerous in any human, that you can just be swayed or have this, you know, questioning yourself. It's very dangerous, in my opinion.
Nah, that's super facts. I agree with you.
Some of you who don't plan to get married, why don't you plan to get married? I'd like to know that.
You already have your child to think about, and then a whole family to care for. You know, it's a lot of responsibility, and then you don't want to.
So you already got your kid to think about. Then the shift is the word language, the word magic is, but to have a whole family, that's too much. Now the whole family, because you're already talking about the kid, you've already included the kid. Correct. So the whole family must mean the man.
That is correct. That is correct.
So that's where the line is drawn in the sand. That's a bridge too far. I got to think about this man.
That is correct.
Wow.
That is correct. And again, you know, she's referring to the simple man, the, you know, not an intellectual thinker. There's another type of man that requires you to teach his kids and feed him healthy and care about the foresight and the future of our family. And that requires selflessness. That requires foresight, insight, hindsight. And they're not willing to do those things, especially for the person who put a baby inside them. It seems like they're the first person they don't want to do these things for. And that's what's so crazy to me, is that, like, that's the person who's fathered your child, and you have the most disdain, the most adversity, the most energy when it comes to going against him. And that's crazy work to me, because if we work together, it would be so much easier.
Yeah. And just imagine, y'all, we've heard this stuff like, nah, I don't want another kid. Like, having a man's like having another kid. This is 40 years ago. The attitude has been there. It's been present for at least 40 years. We're at 1986 now. And we're seeing the same type of attitude and mentality towards having kids and marriage then. I keep hearing, for the last 5 years we've been on the internet having these conversations, I keep hearing that this stuff is new after the breakdown of the church. Church was still in full swing in the 1980s. I remember people still getting shamed in church for having a child out of wedlock. So it may not have been pervasive. And listen, y'all, I'm about to drop the link for OG Patrice. I'm going to drop the link for anybody in about an hour or so. But if OG wants to come up, go ahead and hit this link real quick. Give me a second. Drop the link for OG.
Salute to OG Patrice. Thank you. Thank y'all for providing that space.
Absolutely.
Again, it was an inspiration, like, to see. And that's why, you know, I started to kind of see a recipe. Like, we can say we want different mindsets to come in, and you know, we don't mind entertaining people with different ideologies to have conversations. But I really started to examine the channels, and everybody had like a big three. Like it was OG Patrice, it was Brother C, it was Rico.
Yeah.
Then they would, you know, build on. Then it was me, Sis, Nikki. Then we would build. It's you, Arshawn, Bree. Then y'all would build. And if you look further, everybody has a trio. We all have a core. Like we A alikes, we B alike, and we C alike. Not to say we are a cult, but at the baseline, at the base, we have a certain ideology that we share. Maybe goals, maybe family mindset, like, but it's something at the core that we share an agreement with, and then we build on top of that. And again, that's, you know, what I started to see, that everybody had a big three, man, and I knew we were headed in the right path because, again, you know, you, Brother Clarence, like Sis, like certain content creators, like we pull from, because that's what creation is about. It's about inspiring other creation. So when we take the time to talk about somebody, or take 4 hours to drag them in a family and docs and pull up, but we don't take 15 minutes to say, I like what you do over there in regards to this or regards to that. So, you know, it was a little disheartening for me. And that's why sometimes I get on my little kitchen counter and start cooking, because it's, I thought this was a space where we could create a unity we didn't have in the street. I said it from day one, like we were very ununified out in the street, and I thought this was going to be an opportunity where we could celebrate each other and build off each other, and it just turned into something different. But when I keep y'all core in my mind and, you know, in my heart, we continue to push the information that we push, man. So shout out to y'all.
Yeah, same, man. I agree with you wholeheartedly. It was a thing I thought as well. That's one of the reasons I gravitated to Let's Talk Better Black Life, is because I thought this would be the bridge where people who were like-minded could start building something together. And that has been the case on smaller degrees. I just thought it would be more the way Black people talk in general, in real everyday life. Black people talk so much about the Black community. I thought the moment a bunch of us grouped up, when you seeing like sometimes 10, 50, 100 people in the chat, we would be able to make some moves that would be impressive. But it tended to just be more like we see in a lot of Black churches, where there'd be a charismatic head and money flowed that way, and then corruption followed. That seemed to be, and then all the smaller churches where all the work was getting done.
That's a fact. That's
Whether
a fact.
Backpack
Grassroots.
drives, the people doing
grassroots.
Brother C with the mentoring. It would be all the smaller channels that were actually doing something positive in the community, while you saw all the I'll say filth and depravity up on those big channels, like people hooking up with this person and they having a big fallout, and somebody talking about getting doxxed, and somebody I'm gonna call the FBI. I'm like, listen, y'all.
And the whole time they screaming, you know, positivity don't exist. Like, and that's what's so disheartening, is that when you got people aspiring to try to show a different spin, and then, you know, you're not only ignoring the spin, but then preaching to the choir that it doesn't exist. You know, this shit don't exist out here. And it's a little disheartening, and it kind of makes you want to fight harder, but at the same time, you'll be easy to give up. So it depends on what type of person you are.
So
commitments. I wouldn't want no man holding me down, because I think I can make it as a single parent.
But don't you,
man? I done heard that recently. I think I've heard that this week. I was shocked when I heard this, coming from the 1980s, 40 years ago. Like these, like I think I can do this by myself. I don't need a man. I don't need a guy holding me down, holding me back. He's holding me back.
Right. Why do I want a man holding me back? Was I think her wording.
Yeah. I'm like, man, 40 years ago, I'm gonna tell you, man, I was a little caught off guard, man.
I mean, and again,
go ahead, my fault.
This is you good. This is you know, poses a question for me, like, pick a lie. Because if it was like this back in the days, a man holding me down, and grandpa was so bad, why do you want men like grandpa back now? Like, where's the men of back in the days? We want the old school men, but grandma was being oppressed, so you say. So, you know, it's like, pick one for me. And that's what makes this become advertisement, because some people may hear it that don't have the information, don't have the talking points down, but they hear the advertisement that they don't need this person in their life and they accept it. Like, that's why advertisement is so big, because some people don't know what to buy. And your commercial may just push them over the top. But what you selling?
Influence. It's real.
Raising that baby from a man?
Not really. I didn't have a father. My father wasn't in the home, so, you know, it really, male figures are not substantially important in the family.
Wow. So she didn't have a father.
She did.
So why would her kid need a father? So this goes back even further than 1986.
That's a fact.
So they see, like you said earlier, there has been no esteem on having the man there. So now their attitude is, I don't need a man there. Why would I?
That's huge. That's huge.
Wow. All right, let me skip forward a little bit, man. So Time Force might have to go a little bit further back than 1986. But for now, in this documentary, they do talk to some of the men too. You can imagine it's the same type of dude. The fathers of kids. Yes, I did drop the link. I'll drop it again.
So when this came out, we absolutely put this on our page. But what I did was I kind of did like a transponding type of thing. I kind of imposed a different face onto this talking. So could you share this screen right here?
Absolutely.
Boom. Check this out.
Oh crap! I didn't put a space. Give me a second.
Where's my sound? No sound? Oh, they took the sound away. I think they took the sound away.
Oh, they got struck.
Because I just took the same, that same beginning of that video. So none of you are married. So none of you want to be with the father of your children. And look, this is 2020, maybe 4 or 3 or whatever. Mr. Let Go put this up, how single mothers actually start. And this is, I think, one of the rappers just at the award show telling the girl, I don't need no father. Like, I want to have a baby. I think this is my time. And she's like, girl, who's the father? She's like, ain't no father. I just want to have a baby. Like, yeah. And it's like I said, it's a mindset. This shit has carried on for years. And it's because nobody says anything good about a man. But on the other side of that, we don't require them to. If they don't say something good about you, you'll be like, well, or just sitting in your chair, quiet like grandpa. Don't have no drizzle in you because they call you spicy. Like, if you don't tell them, like, you see this shirt I put on? You crazy? Like, I take time to curate too. I have a vision for this family too. And when we fall silent, when we make them think that they're greater than us by putting them on pedestals or telling mama that her food was good and telling mama that her hair is nice, but we don't tell daddy shit. And mommy don't even tell you to tell daddy shit. So daddy can say, tell mama her hair look nice. Tell mama her dress is pretty. Tell mama her food was good. Tell mama how beautiful the house looked. Tell mama you love her. And she don't even say, well, tell your father something. She go, yeah, tell me, motherfucker. Tell me more. And that's the difference. Like, I picked a woman that would be like, yo, whoa. Now, thank your father for the lights and the gas. And, like, it got to be a certain symmetry and reciprocation. And you can't be called gay for asking for it.
OG, I'm dropping the link. I mean, the link is in the chat. I don't know what I can do. I'm dropping the link. I've dropped it 3 different times. I have no idea what else I can do. I don't know if I have your email. Let me see if I have your email.
I can try to drop it over in my chat and see if you can maybe grab it from over there. So let me go to you real quick. Copy this link.
I'm also sending it to the email with the 0804 in it, OG Patrice, just in case. If for some reason it's not coming up in your chat, I'm also sending it to the email. Just in case.
Just in case.
All right. So this was the next segment of this video before I move on to something else. The Gmail account, yes. Let me see. P Garner. 0804. Let me see. Make sure. Yes. Yes. To the Gmail account. Just in case, for whatever, I'm not sure why it's not coming up in the chat, but in case I'm not sure why, but that's direct through the Gmail. So hopefully that'll work. Let me know if that link does not work for any reason, because I copied it directly out of this studio. So it should bring you right into here. But please let me know if there's any issue with that. All right.
Salute to everybody in the chat. Y'all hit the like button, subscribe, and share. And go over and sub to Critically Drinking if you on my side. Hey, OG Patrice, how are you?
OG Patrice, hello.
Hey, happy Saturday. How y'all doing, gentlemen?
Happy Saturday. Well. So good to hear your voice. It feels like it's been so long. Oh, that just warmed my heart.
I know. I was just getting ready to say that too. It's so good to hear you guys' voice. And I just want to say thank you both for acknowledging Bro C and acknowledging the impact that he had on you, you know, in this space, and hopefully in your lives as well, with the things that he brought to the table with his channel and what he was trying to do in the YouTube community and in Black families in general, just to kind of bring that kind of mindset back with mending relationships, you know, the gender wars and, you know, the family structure and the family dynamic, you know, that, you know, we constantly talked about and had those conversations on his platform. So I appreciate you guys for that. Thank y'all so much for just acknowledging, you know, what that Black man was trying to do for the culture. I appreciate it.
No, absolutely. I know he definitely touched me. We had fun at each other's expense, but we taught each other things, and I would say I definitely grew from knowing him and listening to you, Rico, and him exchange ideas and go back and forth. So I enjoy what you guys put together, and miss him terribly. I do miss the guy. I really grew really fond of Brother C, and
Indeed.
You don't really think about the people from the internet space as the same way you do with people from your real life, but once they're gone, you feel it the same. You know, even if you may not have never shook hands with them, you may have never hugged them, but once their presence is absent, you feel the void.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Absolutely. And I can tell, you know, with the conversation you guys are having, that you felt the impact. And just imagine, even with myself, having to have met him, had the honor and pleasure to have met him, shook his hand, hugged him, you know what I mean? And knowing that this was someone that I had been on a platform with for so many years, and then meeting him in person. So it, you know, his passing hit me real hard and different. It was just like I lost a brother, because we would have conversations outside of YouTube. You know what I mean? So we built this sister brother dynamic relationship, you know, and just from growing and knowing and meeting a person on YouTube, never imagining in all these different walks of life you could meet somebody that can touch your life. So so much. So I miss him so dearly. I still think about him a lot. I still cry sometimes. You know, I'm serious. It's literally like I lost a brother, because that's what he was to me. You know, he was a good brother. He was a good man, and I can tell that, you know, from the way you guys lead your platform right now, you guys gravitated to Bro C, is because you guys have and hold these same kind of conversations, you know, and like you said, Mr. He said, you don't always have to agree on everything, but I think that there was a happy medium and a bottom line that we all desired, and that was to see the Black nucleus family and just to see the culture move forward, to try to end and be a part of the solution and not the problem, to ending some of these gender wars out here, but holding each other accountable as well. So, and I see that in y'all commentary all the time. I may not always come through or say nothing or come on the platform, but I always stop through, give my greetings and salutations, my thumbs up, you know, and just listen to all of you guys, you know, talk and have the conversation. So I'm very appreciative of you guys for that.
Likewise. You gonna hang out with us for a bit, or were you just popping in to say hello?
Oh yeah, I hang out for a minute, because I remember when Bro C did this, he played this video, we had the conversation. So yeah, I definitely want to. I'll stay for a little bit and have the conversation with you guys.
So really quickly, since you jumping in now, when the young ladies are all sitting around and you hear that they did not want to get married, because again, just in the 5 or 6 years, I was only 7 in 1986, so I wasn't obviously a part of any of these conversations. Well, it was completely unaware. But now that you're looking back and you're hearing these people say the same things that you're hearing people say now on the panels, online, on TikToks. I'm not looking for no man. I just want my kid. I don't need to get married. I don't need no man. I want to get your opinion, but I see your nephew that stepped in, so I know he want to say hey.
What's good, John?
Yeah.
What's good? TT.
Hey, what's up, Neff? What's up?
What up, Della?
What up, Mr. He said? Shout out to your brother Rashawn, man. So, like, I was echoing the same sentiment, man. It's good to hear OG Patrice one time for the one time. We see Mr. He said all the time, so you know, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, for sure. What's good, John, man? Shout out to Bro C. You know what I'm saying? Definitely was a good brother.
I appreciate that.
I
just left the shot last week for the Thanksgiving, man. I got out of there in time because that weather ain't no joke out there right now.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad for real. So I'm staying out of trouble. Staying out of that. I know
that's right. Okay, so I want to piggyback on your question, Arshawn, and that just that little part excerpt of that video that was just shown, and the conversation that these young ladies are having. I think because I was young, I was a young lady when this video came out, and I remember the pendulum starting to change with that generation, right? So when you look at past our parents, well, I know at least mine, who come from the baby booming era of where, get the girl pregnant, you got to marry them, especially if you came from the South like my parents did, right? So, you go marry that girl, you get her pregnant. So my parents came from that era, right? And my parents instilled that in me, but the pendulum changed right within this generation right here. When you see these young ladies up here having these conversations, is because more than likely they come from broken homes, and that pendulum changed, that mindset changed with you don't have to have a man to raise the child. You don't have to be married to raise the child type of scenario. And this is the conversation you hear in these young ladies saying. You hear that young lady say, I didn't grow up with my father in the house, so I think that mindset was, probably instilled in them from their mother and passed down. Some of these things are generational. You know, it gets passed down. When you a young lady and you're in a household with women or raised by your mother or grandmothers or aunties, and you hear their conversations and they're saying things like, girl, you don't need a man, and girl, you don't have to get married, and girl, and because I heard them myself, you know, in certain conversations growing up, right? So I think that this is the mindset of when the pendulum changed for that generation of those young ladies that were having children and weren't married, and realizing in their mindset that they didn't need the man in the house or the household to be married to raise their child. They thought that it would be, another added on responsibility, something else harder to do. Or I don't know if it could have been a little bit of, you know, they wouldn't get along with the baby daddy at the time, or maybe they was broke up with the baby daddy. It could have been that as well. It's a lot of things that play a part, but I know for a fact, because I was like in my 20s during that time. So that just go to show you how old OG is, right? So
don't tell him OG.
Doing that, and hey, listen, I'm proud to say, you know, I'm still here to tell the story, because a lot of them may, right? So I remember this era, and I remember myself being a teen mom. My son's father was in the service, and we were supposed to get married. Because again, like I told y'all, that was embedded in me from my mother. Okay, you pregnant, y'all together, but y'all need to get married. That's what was so we had planned to get married and everything, right? And then he called me. And I think the pressure came from his mother. Y'all too young, don't get married just because you have a baby. So he called me, and I got the phone call that broke my heart, because he told me he didn't want to get married. Wow. I got over that. But when I look back in retrospect, and we have a conversation now, because me and my son's father is very good friends. And I said, you know what? I said, you broke my heart, and I was mad and hurt then. I said, but I'm glad we didn't get married when we were that young, because he was 17. I was 16 when I had my son. So I say to him, I say, you know what? Yeah. Because we had a whole lot of growing and maturing and living to do. I said, and I think if we would have married, we would have missed out so much in our lives. I said, so I'm, you know, I told him I ain't mad at you anymore. Yeah, you broke my heart, but I'm not married anymore. I'm not mad at him anymore because we didn't get married. I think it was at that time, it hurt, but I think it ended up being the right decision, because I look at other older generations like my parents that got married early too, because my mom got pregnant at 16 with by my father, who was 20 at the time, and they came from the South, you know, so that was forced upon them. And then we saw a lot of that baby boomer generation marriages was deteriorating. It was very abusive. A lot of it, you know, there was a lot of violence. There was a lot of cheating. There was a lot of secret, you know, outside fathers and families and stuff, depending on the type of job the man had. It was a lot going on that's now being revealed and exposed from that generation, right? Men who were like truck drivers, they had whole families on another side in another city in another state. You know what I mean? So it was a lot going on. So I think that's when the pendulum started changing for that generation. When you hear that generation say and have that mentality of being single mothers. And I think that's why it's continuing, because it's continuing from generation to generation. Now they raising their kids and they have the same mentality, and so on and so on. So I just want to say that to kind of make it make sense.
Absolutely. No, that was good insight, and you brought in your personal experience. So no, that was dope.
Thank you for sharing.
And I saw Bree come in, Brother Vaughn came in, and I know there was another gentleman with a Smoke and Talk podcast, man. Welcome everybody in. And Brother Vaughn, I know you were a veteran of Let's Talk the Better Black Life, so definitely, should you want to, before we drop the link for the public, if you wanted to come in and chime in, please go ahead and let me know. I will drop the link for you. Shout out to A-Team is in the building as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you know, I text the family to let them know, you know, that what you guys was doing over here, so that I'm glad they came over to, you know, to pay some respect. So
salute to Brother Vaughn.
Yeah, for sure. All right, y'all. Yella, I know you just popped in as well. Did you want to hop in real quick or hit some more on the video?
No, we can get back into the video.
All right, cool. I got about another like 10 seconds on this clip. Then I want to skip to something else. There's another video I'm gonna bring up. Uh-oh.
Yeah, bring it up, bro.
Oh, snap. My bad. Thank you. That's a habit of mine to, try to keep the video to myself, man. Hide the good stuff.
It's the lack of motivation. So it's not racism that I'm fighting right now. It's the lack of motivation. I'm not even talking about racism. Maybe later on we'll get back to that. But I think we are destroying ourselves.
I thought that was an important point because that was my question. Because this wasn't KKK. This wasn't Rosewood, Greenwood, Tulsa. It wasn't any of that stuff. These were our own people saying, I don't want to have a family unit that includes the man. Now, of course, like everybody's spoken to, there's social influence. People having certain rhetoric or talking points that influence how other people think. There was the welfare rules that disincentivize having a man around because, you get kicked off the rolls, and they did police that heavily. Of course, those are all a factor. But we can't say white supremacy was the sole architect of broken family. I don't believe so. Why were black families tighter during the literal era of slavery and Jim Crow than they are today? How did we survive the whip and the lash, but fell apart under the welfare state? Like, why was that such a ground? Like, why did that shift the ground underneath our feet? Let's start with OG Patrice, and I want to ask Yella and Mr. He said behind OG. What's your opinion?
Yeah, because during slavery times, we was all we had. As a unit, all of our ancestors, those that come from, ancestors come from the transatlantic slave trade. All of those people were all they had. So we don't have this mentality anymore of we all we got. We don't. And the separation came in from the indoctrination, right? Yes. Does the government and white supremacy and things have something to do with the tear down of it? Absolutely. But it's not just all of them, because we bought into a lot of it and we're still in a lot of it. You still see some of the indoctrinations now. Y'all was talking about it earlier in the black church. You see some of the indoctrination of it in tradition, in the way, we raise our families, right? We see some of the disparities in colorism within our own community. We see a lot of the whole thing with the person that was the overseer on the slave plantation. We see a lot of that happening in our culture now. They just call gatekeepers now. That's the only difference. But it's a lot of those traditions is just a change of a shift in the name of what they named it and the way that they do it. But it's the same, right? And we have bought into that with the indoctrination and with the conditioning when it comes to that of how we treat each other now. So I think that whole separation of when they separated our ancestors on that plantation just became another form of separation right now in today's society as we see it as a whole, with gatekeepers, with the individualism that we are being taught. Now we are not taught we all we got. You know what I mean? That mentality. When they came over, they were all they had, but you also had within the culture like we have now that infiltrate, right? Our own people infiltrate into certain systems that cause, that cause confusion, that cause division, that cause, all of these things. So all of that plays a part in it. Am I blaming them totally? The government? Not totally, no, because yes, the government did give women that were no longer with their husband, that had children, aid for dependent children. And yes, they would keep telltales on them. The man can't be in the house, can't live in the house. If a man bought the woman something extra, you gotta hide it when the caseworker come out. Listen, I was a little girl when all of that. I went through all of that. I watched my mama go through it. I watched my aunts go through it and all of that before my mom finally got out of the system, because my mom was a housewife. She didn't know nothing but being married and raised children ever since she was 16. So she come from that baby boomer era with her parents being a silent generation of, you the homemaker, the father is the provider, right? And that's how that's the household my mom came up. But once her and my dad separated and divorced, my mom was forced to get into the workforce. But for a while, she was on aid for dependent children. And I remember that was that era where if my dad bought us school clothes, we had to hide that shit. If my mom, worked a side job where she was paid cash under the table, because she did that too, we had to hide all that stuff when the caseworker came around. I remember all of that, right, growing up. Yeah. So all of that part was the government playing a part in that, and we fell into a part of that. But it was not just only the government, because men were walking away from families. They were leaving as well. So we can't put the blame on one said thing when there was a combination of all those things that played a part in the breakup of the nuclear family.
Appreciate that. Now, Mr. He Said in Yellow, I know OG thoroughly covered it, and I agree. I've heard all of that stuff too, so I definitely agree. But do y'all have something to add to that, or any disagreements there?
No, I wouldn't have any disagreements. The only thing I would add to that is practice, bro. We talking about practice. Shout out to AI. So back in the day, we had practice, y'all. Like the slavery, the family nucleus, being very focal, is because it was all we had. Kind of like you had to be with the family. We really didn't have the options that, the younger people, the newer generations kind of have. So that practice kind of led to perfect. But when I hear about the mindset, I kind of hear sports, back to Allen Iverson again, in practice. These are the things we control. Like I was told, we control free throws. We control those, and turnovers. We control those. So if we're doing a poor job at the things that we control, like the elder said at the end of the video, we could get back to the ops later. First, we got to master the things that we control first. And we control the mindset of our sisters. Our sisters control their own mindset. So when the mindset is the problem and the flaw, because we see it 40 years later with the same mindset on different faces, again, it's lack of practice now. Not practicing celebrating the men in the world. Like, there's been such a lack of practice, and like OG had to say, like, it's both sides, and that's what we kind of been here for 6 years. Because when we say it's the ladies, that's when they say, well, kind of look at both sides. No, look at the ladies, because that's what we said. We ain't say both sides. It depends. Maybe the men, maybe the women. Everybody got something to do with it. We know that. We grown. We know that. I'm 51. I know everybody got something to do with it. But we talking about the ladies right now. And until they can sit and take the correction and say, you know what, you might be right. You know what, I might have to work on this and that. It hasn't been that. That's the only reason I'm still here. I am such a contrarian like that. You tell me don't think about pink elephants. First thing pop in my head is a pink elephant. And when I get ladies like, move along, you don't need to be talking about women. Now I'm staying right here. I so been wanted to talk about men. Men got some shit that they need to be pointed out too. I'm the one that said they ain't got no pictures on the wall, remember? I'm the one that said they ain't got nobody bringing them no plate, kissing them on the cheek, giving them no vegetables. I'm the one that said all of that. I'll get back to them when I get to them. You can't make me get to them. And that's my whole thing. Like, ladies been like, move along, nothing to see here. But it is a lot to see here, though. And that, like you showing, y'all mindset been fucked up for 40 years. And it's a lot of pussy ass men been sitting by letting y'all do the shit. And I'm not one of them guys. I got a whole quarter zip on right now. Rest in peace to Bro C. He would be proud of these young niggas with this quarter zip shit. Like, it's a mindset you have to start to adopt. Yeah. And maturity is a part of that.
Listen, I agree, because I've never seen more degeneracy in females than I have within this last 20 years, maybe longer. Like, I'm just like, and again, it's indoctrination, it's culture, it's letting the wrong people and things and inspire them and influence them, right? Reality TV, all the falsification of even some of the indoctrination that was told to us by our mothers and grandmothers. You know, I've had that conversation with my mom, like, nah, Mom, that was wrong, what you said about this, that, and the other. And I don't feel that way, and I don't think that way anymore. And I think, like you said, that there are a lot of women that won't challenge the mothers and grandmothers that raised them, nor will they'll get with a man and a husband, and he may be too, lenient and docile in the marriage and relationship to take control and lead as a man. And when I say control and lead, I don't mean if he ain't worth that person leading and controlling. I mean it in the sense of if he's that man that knows how to lead and control the situation, then yes, that's supposed to be a equilibrium within that relationship. But I see the failure of that because I see the mindset that a lot of these women have about allowing the man that's worthy of doing that to actually do that.
That's a fact.
Shout out to Bolo in the chat real quick, because I wanted to honor the people who were on Let's Talk to Better Black Life most frequently. Bolo, if you can see the link in the chat, because for some reason when I drop the link, it's not going over to Mr. He Says, or Mr. He Said, if you could take it from the private chat and drop it on your side so that they can get it. Bolo, you are more than welcome to come up to join the conversation before we invite the general public up. Good to see you. But we have Brother Vaughn in the building. And after Brother Vaughn introduces himself, everything yell out. You can jump in. Brother Vaughn, good to see you. Welcome to the stage.
Hey, Brother Vaughn.
Hey, peace and blessings, everybody, man. I'm just, I got wind of what you all were doing and thought I'd stop by. Brother Clarence, that was my guy, man. And,
yes, sir.
I thank God for him. He was a great example for me in these spaces. And that's why I followed him the way that I did. You see what I'm saying? Actually, I found my voice through his channel, you see, because I never thought that I would be up here on YouTube, mentioning or talking about anything, And so now that, that has grew into me being a part of what Bolo is doing on his channel, And so now every Tuesday night, I'm ministering the word over there. And see, so God is good, man. This brother had a very good heart. You see what I'm saying? He had a heart for the people, and he had a heart for community, you see.
Yes.
And he wanted to see people come together, not be separate, excuse me, not be separated from each other, And that's what he stood for, and, he's definitely missed. And just to address what you were saying about how perverse the women have become. And we do see it. It's very evident. You see what I'm saying? Women are not as modest as they used to be. Now everything has to be on display. You see what I'm saying? Everything has to be enhanced. You see, you have to have the BBL and you have to, augment your breast. You see? And all of these things are devices of the enemy to just exploit and to use you. You see what I'm saying? And so definitely, we see these ratchet women, you see, and we do complain about them because we notice them. Just like my brother said, we're noticing how degenerate this age is becoming, you see. But I also like to add to that, see, a lot of us brothers, we perpetuate that type of behavior. Absolutely. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, what would the whore amount up to if there were no whoremongers? You see what I'm saying? So let's not just come from a standpoint only of pointing her out. I mean, if that's the occasion for this morning, then, well, you know, by all means, then that's the topic. You see what I'm saying? But degeneracy exists equally on both ends of the spectrum. See, because there wouldn't be a whore if it wasn't for the whoremongers. You see what I'm saying? So I just wanted to drop that there. I'm pretty sure some agree, some disagree, but that's okay. But I do appreciate you. I do appreciate you taking this time to, honor Brother Clarence, because he was a great force in this YouTube space. Sister Patrice, glad to hear from you. Brother Yella, Arshawn, Mr. He Said, glad to be up here.
Same here, Brother Vaughn. Good to hear your voice.
Yeah, likewise. Man, it's giving me all
kinds of share the platform with you again. Oh my God, sharing the platform with you again is like so dope.
Yeah,
it's been a while, right?
Man, it's hit me in my fields. Hit me in the fields, man. But Yella, man, you want to jump in on the topic real quick?
I mean, and everybody pretty much, you know what I'm saying, cooked it up. You know what I'm saying. If I'm gonna get my little spoonful of it, I think that the women forgot that they were the women, and not like in a know your place type of thing, but as in a you're different type of deal. Like I think right now it's just a bunch of niggas running around, and that's really what it feels like. You know what I'm saying? It feel like it's just a bunch of niggas out here. You know what I'm saying? So I think for like the current times, like because where it's evolved to, because I think a lot of that came from a place of necessity. You know what I'm saying? Like I look at them young ladies in that video, and I understand where they was at that point in time. But then, like most things with us, I don't think we ever see when we get out of the woods. Like we still want to hold on to that. What am I looking for? Like that oppression. Like we want to look for that oppression that enabled certain things, right? Because you got to do what you got to do sometimes, and we all have been there. We all understand that. But after you've done what you had to do, you got to stop it. Like you know what I'm saying? You can't keep doing what you got to do once you get out of that situation. So yeah, I don't know. It just evolved into having to take people out of their survival mode, and it just feel like we're dealing with a bunch of niggas.
I mean, I think about what you're saying, and I kind of put that with 1 is a mistake, 2 is a choice, and 3 is a pattern. So if one generation don't appreciate fathers, it's a mistake. But if it get passed down to the second generation and they don't appreciate fathers, now it's a choice. But then when we get to a third generation and they don't appreciate fathers, now it's a pattern.
Yeah, and they don't appreciate, and now that's what I'm saying. They don't appreciate them now because they think they're the fathers. That's why I say it feel like just a bunch of niggas out here.
Right. So you know what I mean? So now I'm just back to the sports thing. Like, how do you get the team back on the right course when everything that we're doing to lose games, we're doing it? We're missing free throws. We're turning the ball over. Like, all the mistakes are because of us. The other team ain't better than us. They're not more talented. It's not the gym. It's us. We're shooting ourselves in the foot and then asking to run a race and thinking that we're going to win. It's impossible.
Wow. Listen, that's interesting that you would say that. And when you mentioned shooting ourselves in the foot, can you give us an example of how we're doing that?
By celebrating negativity.
Yeah.
By not celebrating family, fathers, like not having a certain mindset of humanity, of selflessness.
Wow.
I think that would get us further, even if we do have our own opinions. We do share our individual ideologies, but understanding that we humans first, and then everything else kind of comes after that, then I think we approach things a little more different, because There's a certain selflessness that we would look out and look to other people for direction, correction, or inspiration. Your choice.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. That was definitely awesome. You know, it just seems like we have fallen out of love with each other. You know, there was a time when we loved each other. We had each other's backs. You see what I'm saying? And somehow the enemy crept in and just caused all of this division through behaviors. You see what I'm saying? We have been enticed and influenced, you know, to act in a certain behavior. You see what I'm saying? Which is causing us to be indifferent with each other. And so that's what I hate to see. You know, I hate to see these panels where everybody blows up at each other and nobody has any type of communicative skills, because it's all emotional based. You see what I'm saying? All of the hurt and the pain and, you know, all of the resentment and the rejection, you see. And so it just shows up in a lot of these platforms when they're going back and forth at each other, you know. And to me, it's not a gender war thing. It's not a male and female thing. It's a sin thing, you know. And that's where I stand with it. It's a sin thing.
I can respect that. I definitely respect
that. And just to piggyback a little bit more, I've noticed, you know, within these last, especially on social media, people that have platforms, unfortunately, I've noticed, and we talked about this when we had Brother Leon on Bro Clan's channel. I've never seen so many narcissistic people on here that are talking, that are living, that are influencing their subscribers and followers to some of the most disgusting things I've ever seen in my life. When I look on some platforms where now I'm seeing where women are unaliving their children. I'm seeing where like this case in Chicago with the whole Romika thing, where women are unaliving each other. You know, she just actually got arrested and charged with first-degree murking of Romika Meeks in Chicago. That's the big thing. Is all over social media right now. I'm seeing more. I've never in my life seen more where our men are unaliving our women. They're unaliving their children. They're unaliving themselves. I have never in any generation that I've ever lived in, and that's been several decades, have seen more of that in my life. So there is, and I'm not saying all, but it's a large percentage of where that is happening now within our culture, where that never was before. It always was there, but never to the extent of what I'm seeing right now. And a lot of these platforms, and I'll specifically say, when all of us came from off another major large platform, which everybody know for the most part it was Lead Attorney. That's how I met Brother Vaughn, Bro C, you know, a lot of us, right? and before he got as big as he is, he used to always stop by Bro C's channel. Did he not, Vaughn?
Yeah, he would come through there. Definitely.
He would come through, have conversations with us. But again, it's just like when all of a sudden our people, you get so big, now you don't know nobody. You know, and then you see some of the disparate things that have been done and said from that platform. Surprised me, really surprised me, of how he ended up treating me, Bro C, Vaughn, and stuff like that, when he used to actually come over to Bro C's channel and have conversations with us. So when you see the difference in the mentality of these people, and when they get bigger and grow bigger and this and that, they get the big head. It's the same thing that happens in real life. So it makes me know that these people that act like that on these platforms are like that for real. And I've never seen so many narcissistic people in my life than I do on these platforms. And that's why we continuously having the war with the gender war thing on certain platforms, is because they don't really want to resolve the issue, the problem. They just want to hear themselves talk and talk about how bad the woman are and drag her, how bad the man are and drag him. That's all they want to do is hear themselves talk. They never want to act on actually doing the solutions like what I saw on Bro C's channel. They just want to have the conversations.
Shout out to also people who come in. DJ Dose, man. Shout out to you, Red Lipstick. Go ahead, Yellow.
No, I was just gonna say I've always thought that's because actual solutions take away from the profit. You can't actually fix the problem, or the views go away. You know what I'm saying? You can't actually fix the problem, or the rage go away, which inspires the Patreon subscribers and the super chats and all that. So you can't actually take that away.
Yeah.
You know, because then that's what they're gonna talk about then.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's kind of the disposition of most people with this stuff. I think it's they don't want to stop oppression. They want to be the new oppressor. Or they want to reoppress.
The new cult leader.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why it's funny you tapped on that. I know I had talked about this before. It's like you look at a lot of people's names and what they call themselves, because we don't call ourselves by our real names. Like very few people know the real names of folks out here, but everybody is like King this or Queen that or Truth this, or like there's always these hyperbolic, exaggerated descriptions of themselves that is I've always been one of them people to never give yourself a nickname.
Self-proclamation.
Yeah, you never give yourself a nickname. You know what I'm saying? So to hear these people come up with some of these names and you just be like, it's just you, Oos. Like how are you King? Just or this, or like how are you Queen this? Like how are you?
Big
and
fact.
I get it. It's like people. And then it's like this weird ass. It's this weird ass like fake leadership, right? It's this fake idea leadership, because just because you have people who show up and talk shit in your function doesn't mean you have leadership. Just because you got a bunch of people in your chat don't mean that you a leader, because they're turning your ass in a second.
Facts.
Like you don't have you have viewership. You have people who indulge in the bullshit and the brand you bring.
Yeah.
But you don't have actual leadership. Because you can't get nobody to do nothing but donate to more bullshit.
Exactly.
You can't get them to do nothing positive. You can't get them to actually go do nothing of substance. Like, that's why I shout out Mr. He said when he was like, "Hey, we got a book bag drive." Motherfucker showed up.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? When Bro C did what he did, people showed up.
That's a fact.
Exactly. You know,
that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, and again, and that's why we kind of gravitate to y'all. Again, y'all are right with this entertainment space. I call it a case study, but that's what, you know, we kind of recognized you guys as like lighthouses. Like there's always gonna be ships that's out there floating around lost. But the lighthouses, like as long as you go toward the lighthouse, like you're gonna be all right. And again, that's what's so disheartening about it is when you got, you know, Brother C, you got Critically Drinking, you got Sis, like this was what I thought the inspiration was supposed to be. Like just a little camaraderie. Yeah, we might shake the table every once in a while, but again, overall, there's a baseline there. And when's Black Solidarity Day, y'all? Like, remember, it used to be Black Solidarity Day, a whole day concentrated on the unification of us. And it's different now. I'm not saying it's better. I'm not saying it's worse. I'm just saying it's different. And it's that lack of unity on all fronts. And I think this is, you know, kind of what we see. So that's why we always admire you guys. Again, you know, we have a core of 3. Like we have a certain ideology we share, and we're willing to put these views and experiences out there. Like I see so many people on the fence. Well, I don't know. They have no position on anything, and that's so Like, hate me for it. I don't care, but I'm gonna put it out there. Like, this is how Mr. He Said feel about it. And maybe you can build on it. Maybe you could build around it, but I'm not gonna pussyfoot or try to people please to, you know, gain these clicks and views that y'all talking about. So that's the difference that I see. It's a certain genuineness that, you know, we kind of came with, and whatever comes with it, we'll take it. But it's the lack of that nowadays. It just seems very generic. Like Sis said, like everybody is following this formula, and it's not because that's your integrity. You're just doing this for clicks. And that's the difference. Like, integrity is going to be very important. And when we call ourselves like journalists, like I don't know if you know you are, but you're a journalist. You're presenting information and you're showing us where you got it from. Like, this requires bibliographies, and y'all know this stuff because y'all all say y'all graduated from college. And that's what gets me so mad, Arshawn, is this stuff was told to us year one in the seminar. We was taught about speech. We was taught about health and condoms and like year one, time management. And y'all graduated from school, got your own family, and forgot all the seminars, all the sports, all what your coach said. Y'all don't know nothing. Nobody don't know leadership. Nobody know participating. Nobody knows teamwork. Nobody knows anything. And like I said, this is the biggest remedial class I've ever been a part of, and I never got left back.
Yeah.
Wow. It's like nephew said though. It's like Yella said. It's become a commodity. It's about the clicks, the views, the money. And if you notice that all of the smaller platforms like what Bro C had, what you guys are actually putting more work in to make the difference than the bigger platforms is, right? They sold a certain amount of people on that, but when they got as big as they got, it was just all about how much I can make, how much my platform can make, how many views and clicks and subscribers I have. When you have smaller channels like Bro C had, like you guys have, and you guys are having fundraisers and drives. Now imagine the impact that the larger content creators could do with that if they did the same thing, if they follow suit. And they have more subscribers and followers, and they influence more people because their platform is larger. But what do you see? You only see the smaller ones really doing the work.
Wow.
Yeah. Sad but true.
Let me introduce Brother Vaughn. Give me one quick moment, real quick. I want to bring some more of the topic in real quick.
Okay.
On our little Time Force report, man, I did some digging. Got a little chart going. This is just from the 1960s. If you see the blue line, that's the marriage rate in the Black households. The red line is the single motherhood rate. So you see we have that direct inverse ratio. As one goes down, the other goes up to where we are now. It stopped at 2020 is where this graph stops. You got an X shape. Totally flip-flopping, totally inverted. Now, I want to ask, Brother Vaughn, go ahead and get your thought in, but I'll let you start. I want to know, what do you think is, with this being the case, with family and household, this discrepancy, what value set died or changed, was distorted to create this problem here? But like, jump in on your thought that you were getting ready to have, if you still have it, and then like jump in on this.
Okay, wow, yeah. Yeah, that chart is crazy, man. That's wild. And then the fact that it creates an X, it kind of shows us the direction that we're going in.
Wow.
And that's kind of crazy, But I did want to share this scripture concerning this great falling away that we see, not just in these spaces, but in the world that we live in. You see what I'm saying? And it says, enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. And many there be which go in thereat, because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. You see, man, there's a broad road that leads to destruction. And many people are following that path. You see what I'm saying? You know, whatever's in, whatever the new fad is, you know, we have to be a part of everything that's going on, you see. And we don't take time to understand that, you know, what direction are we really going in?
Oh, yeah.
You know, you see, because there's a way, listen, there is a way that seems right to a man, but the end ends up with destruction. You see, that's why the scripture admonishes us not to lean to our own understanding, see, but acknowledge him in all of our ways, and then he can direct our path. The problem is we're not being directed by the one true God. We're not being directed by him. You see, we're following our own flesh, and we're not walking after the Spirit. And so, yes, definitely there's going to be a decline in marriage, and there's going to be, you know, a rise in single motherhood, right? Because nobody is taking accountability. That's the point. You see, if we can take accountability and see what the problem is and move from there, but we're spending a lot of time looking out of the window and not enough time looking in the mirror. Let a man examine himself. You see what I'm saying? Search my heart, oh God. If there's anything that's unclean on the inside, remove that thing so that I could have a life that's pleasing to you, you see. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to go too far off track, Brother Arshad. You know, I get a little passionate about.
No, it's all right, man. We like the passion. And like I said, I haven't heard it in a while. So, you know, it's good to hear y'all's voices. And what are y'all saying? I mean, even if I don't agree, I want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear it. But so when you look at this chart, would you say, or could you say, or like speak to this real quick? Because to me, when I see this, what I see is the divide and conquer. Like, as Black people are divided, the worse and I'm going to have I have a couple more videos to talk about the wealth gap, and we'll get to that. But what I see this is the success of divide and conquer. Like, that's what this chart says to me. But what do you think of that? And shout out to IG Green. I didn't greet you. Hello. I'm atheist, so this doesn't apply to us. Okay. All right. Fair enough. But what do you think about that? Like the whole divide and conquer strategy. You know, we all used to cite the Willie Lynch letter. But for me, when I see this chart, when I see single parenthood, and to this degree, well, you know, to me, that's divide and conquer.
I would just say this, you know, as long as the enemy is allowed to divide, see, that's his tactic. That's his strategy. Because now, once he has caused division, he can conquer. You see what I'm saying? So I'll just address it that way.
Okay. All right. OG Patrice, what do you think about that? When you see this chart, when you see the way the marriage rate is, and again, I'm not trying to suppose that marriage is the answer, but I do believe there's a mindset of togetherness that marriage is a part of, that we've gotten stripped from. We've had that stripped out of us, and whatever the cause. No, Mrs. She said has dropped a couple reasons: the social programming, the programming in the home, the modeling. I think the music. There's a lot of chats. I didn't catch them all, but there are a lot of different reasons that stripped it out of us. Even like the rhetoric between each other. I don't need no man, girl. You don't need no man. Leave that, dump that, jump, all that good stuff. All that stuff has totaled us losing the esteem of togetherness. So what would you say, OG Patrice, when you're looking at something like this? And I wanted to get Brother Vaughn on the because he brought religion into it. And IG said that I'm an atheist. That doesn't apply to me. Outside of religion, how would that be verbalized? How would you speak to somebody who doesn't say, well, all that Jesus stuff, that whoop-de-woo, sky God, that don't apply to me? How would you speak to somebody who says, I reject religion? How could you vocalize the need for unity, togetherness, solidarity, family? How would you vocalize it to somebody who doesn't believe in the Bible and Christ?
Right. And first of all, I want to say, just looking at the decline, you know, of the marriage and from that graph is very problematic, right? Especially within our culture, it is. As far as where if it don't apply, let it fly. And that goes with religion and anything else, because you have to decide for you and yours how your view is about marriage, about family, about the nuclear family, if that's what you want, because we also know that that's not for everybody, right? Like marriage and family is not for everybody. Just like some people have children and they don't deserve them, they shouldn't have them, and that's just a fact. Because you could, because a woman can make a baby doesn't mean have a baby doesn't mean she needs to be a mother. When there's no maternal instincts, and when you turn around and you're unaliving your child, that's problematic. I'm sorry, you don't need a child. You know, when we have women and men that get married to each other and they say "to death do us part," and they all about, you know, a lot of them are all about in the church and God, and they believe religiously, but they going out and they lying and they cheating, and then they end up unaliving each other. But you wasn't honoring that in that moment, right? You wasn't honoring what the Bible said in that moment. You wasn't honoring what God says about not killing in that moment, but you end up doing that to the person that you was in a whole marriage with, had children with, laid down in the bed next to every day. But this is what you did to the person you claimed you loved, whether it worked out or not, right? So when I look at that graph, I say that all of those things is playing a part in the reason why there's the decline. There's the decline of marriage. There's the decline of, you know, of these women, you know, I mean, more of an uprise of the women want to be single women and not want the man for whatever reason. They not want the man. What was her name? That Ebony chick, you know, she's gotten a certain age. Yeah, she's not married, but she wanted a child. And what she do? In vitro. We have to look at every individual case when it comes to marriage, family, religion, and all those things. Because I have never in my life seen more exposure and degeneracy of the Black church than I do right now. And y'all know I've talked about that before. Look at all of these pastors that's being exposed for pedophilia, getting caught with child pornography and all these different things, and being exposed for, you know, a lot of the things that they are doing within the church. So when we have these conversations, we have to look at the whole spectrum of things. And that's why a lot of people have walked away from the church and from religion altogether, because they have been hurt or church hurt or whatever, or hurt by religion, because the people that told them you should love God and love each other have misused them within that system. So it's so many dynamics that play a part in that, in the decline of the nuclear family. Well, it don't seem like family to me when I lived in a household and y'all knew Uncle Charlie was touching on me. See, we got to really talk about the whole dynamic of the reason why there's a decline of all these things within, and I'm talking specifically within the Black culture because I'm a Black woman within that culture, right? So I'm specifically talking about within our own culture, and there has got to be some ownership, some onus and accountability for that within the religion and the churches, whatever it is. It don't matter if it's a mosque, if it's a temple, if it's a whatever your religion is, right? It doesn't matter whatever your family dynamic or mindset is about family and marriage and children. I have come to know from all of the degeneracy and despair that I see now within our culture, that every woman that have a child don't mean she's a mother and deserves a child. Every man that put a seed in a woman to have that child don't mean he's a father and deserves to father that child. Every woman and man that's in a marriage or same sex situations don't deserve each other just because they that way. Because look at what we see within all those dynamics. And until we address those dynamics and how they are and where they stand, I won't say, yeah, every woman should have a man and every man should have a woman and everybody should be married. I won't say that, and everybody should just have a happy family and a child dynamic, because we have seen those pictures also those paintings be skewed within the culture and within our generation. That's all I want to say about that. Now, I'll listen for a minute.
Listen. You don't have to necessarily be a religious person to have good morals. You don't have to be a religious person to know the difference between what's good or what's right and what's wrong. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to be a religious person to desire community and unity.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you don't have to be a religious person in order to have those qualities. Not at all. You see what I'm saying? But I do believe that a good foundation helps you go further in life.
Yeah, I agree with that. You don't have to, you're right. It's about morals, integrity, values, and things of that nature. Brother Von, so you are absolutely right. He just asked me specifically about from the religious perspective. So that's why I gave it from that perspective. But yes, I know plenty people that don't believe in God, that not into the religious, realm and sector. And they are very good people. They have very good morals, integrity, values, and things of that nature. So yeah, you're correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys, we've been up here about an hour and a half. I am going to drop the link if anybody does want to come up. So the link is in the chat. Not sure why it's not going over to Brother He Says, but feel free, Mr. He Said, if you would drop that on your side as well.
I dropped it in there. Yep, I'll drop it again. Absolutely.
Cool. We got IG in the building.
I really appreciate the conversation though today. I won't be able to stay too much longer, but I'm gonna try to hang in there for a bit. But
absolutely,
I really appreciate you all. Recognizing Brother Clarence, and it just takes me back just even looking at his picture up here.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie to you. I got a little weepy when I pulled the picture. I was like, what I'm saying? I think we should have like a background from his channel or something. I was like, we could actually have him present. I was like, oh man, caught me off guard. I was like, oh shoot, caught me in the fields.
But you know what? You know what's good, Arshawn, is the fact that we can have these conversations. See, when I run past streams like this one, where people are actually communicating with each other and giving each other time to speak, you know what I'm saying? Man, how much more can we gain and understand in that way? But when you see all of this chaos, and I'm trying to figure out, well, how do you get anything done with all of this chaos that's being exhibited? How do you accomplish anything that way? You know what I'm saying? I understand, like you mentioned earlier, about the likes, the clicks, and the views. People love to slow down at a train wreck. Right? It's entertaining for some people, you see, because they just want to see how far, it's going to go. But man, I like to gain something from a conversation. I don't like to walk away empty. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I want to have at least learned something or been able to share something that helps somebody.
Totally agree. Real quick, we're going to introduce IG, but I know Bo in the chat has said something about put up the chart for the income. This is the projected median household wealth for Black families. So from 1980, we see it going. It's going to be going down to 2050. In 2053, the household wealth will be going down to zero. I have an economist, Jordan Fraser. I have a video where he's going to speak about that in a moment. But I'm going to bring IG in first, and then we'll talk about the actual family wealth momentarily. This is him right there. But IG,
what up, IG?
Welcome to the stage. Welcome to the stage. Come on, jump in. How you doing today?
What's happening, baby? Y'all caught me before I go to the plantation. You heard me.
What's going on, baby? You heard
me? What's happening, everybody? It's been a minute since I've been on the Critical Thinking panel.
Let's go.
What's happening, guests, everybody? Yeah, I do agree with y'all. Like, even with religion aside, I'm your atheist heathen friend. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, atheist agnostic person. So even from the LGBTQ side, I do see that same type of rage to destruction. Everyone is clicking and going into the direction of reinforcing what is negative about dating. Even me, it's so interesting. Even with me living in Atlanta now, you heard me, I love it out here. But that same type of demographic, I thought like, okay, if I came to Atlanta, it's supposed to be this Black, quote unquote, gay mecca. Not just only that, but I see the same type of sensationalism that everyone is chasing after, even within their dating. Everyone's looking for this certain type of archetype of something that they have been programmed to think. So even in the sense of in the LGBTQ sector, it's the same thing. That same type of moving away from relationship. But I will say this in defense, and not defense, but just difference. The difference is that same gender loving people, we weren't allowed to exist in relationship. You know what I'm saying? We was always only allowed to exist in having sex. So the reason why for our demographic looks different than heteronormative people is that that side of us. Because see, when we, let's say if we outside like we just holding hands with the same sex, everyone automatically thinks about how we're having sex. Like when I look at a man, when I look at a man and a woman, like I was watching X-Men the other day, and it was the episode with Beast and X-Men '96. And when the it was that episode where he cured this girl's he cured this girl's blindness and he fell in love. And you know, I kind of got a little teary-eyed because despite him being a male mutant and her being a female human, it was just how society and world was just tearing them apart. And at one moment, even when I got emotional, I did not think about what was in between their legs. I didn't say, oh, just because this is a male or a female, this is somehow divinely more emotional inspired. No, I looked at that and saw two different adults and souls that the world, because of its institution, and this is how I kind of see religion, I see religion as the propagandist and as the enemy to mutants and all kind, and the X-Men universe as how they see the friends of humanity. So for me as a Black American who's American descent of slave, who is not Ethiopian descent, who is not anything other than West African American Indian, I know that that biblical principle was never written for me because I'm not of that bloodline. So when we deal with that objective morality, that's the only problem about religion. It has an objective morality that gets the masquerades as subjective morality. Because the only difference is between other people's morality, humanist morality, and religious morality is that we're honest about how subjective it is. Objective morality is assured through the institution of the government and the society. But then it gets to mask around as if it's subjective when it's really the subjective ideas of the people. So part of a lot of the reasons that you're going to see the system of this objective morality was never meant to be institutionalized for the public. It was never meant to be institutionalized for every nation of people. Unless, and I'm going to just land right here, the reason why we have this ideal of this objective morality is because of conquest. Nobody's spiritual system, Abrahamic belief or not, exists worldwide because of just peace. Everybody's spiritual system of what they think marriage and government is, it is determined and it is spread through war and conquest. So we have a system that we're trying to adhere to for our relationships that is all passed down by our conquerors, regardless if it's melanated or not. Because Ethiopia is one part of Africa. That's the reason why you got Christianity. We weren't all Ethiopian. We all are from the northeast part of the continent. So we all have been forced into this type of idea, and everyone's nature or genetics or lineage does not fit in the archetype of that objective morality. And I say what I had to say. You heard me. If anybody want to touch or double tap on that, it's all good.
Well, let me just say this, because I'm going to have to leave in just a bit, if I could. You know, number one, thank you for having me up here today. You know, I just wanted to share my love for Brother Clarence and maybe make a couple of comments on the topic, you know, and I'm going to have to leave at this time. But, you know, let's get back to loving each other. Let's get back to unity. You know, let's get back to promoting community. You see what I'm saying? And whatever it takes to do that, let's figure out what that is. You see what I'm saying? Because we're much better together than we are apart. And I'll just say that, and God bless OG Patrice. I'll talk to you later, and thank you for having me today.
Right, okay, my dear brother. Thank you so much.
Luke, man, thanks for coming up.
All right. IG, I was gonna say I ain't gonna say it's a disagreement. I would just say maybe an addendum. There is a disagreement baked in, so I'm lying. So I don't think that everything has been forced. I don't think that every moral principles, because people migrate, and sometimes people move and they take their principles and ideas and their cultures with them. Not all of it was through conquest, but I know what you're talking about. Like the dominant cultures are because of like typically imperialism, colonialism. But I know also there's like acculturation. People that live near each other, sometimes they just blend and bleed. So I just wanted to say that it's not all through force. Sometimes people just fall in love and share a God or two. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not saying that, but here's the only problem. The only reason why I still will give you some pushback. Can you point into history where especially with Abrahamic beliefs, the ones that we follow, have they ever in any history, has Abrahamic ever got past lands without conquest? Have they ever, you know what I'm saying? So there is a way that Abrahamic beliefs has spread without any form of, I'm talking about majority around the world now. I know there's some exceptions, but every time when I look at every form of Ethiopian history, everyone else's history, I don't see this particular Islamic, I don't see this particular frame of thought now. I see other forms of spiritual beliefs in Hinduism and Shittuism and stuff like that does that on the east side of the world. But everything that's Abrahamic belief, I have seen that the ideal of it, its core of it, where everyone gets it from, they didn't get it because of, like in West Africa, they didn't get it until the Ethiopians came. And you see what I'm saying? So that's where you see what I'm saying? So that's where for me, if there's a core that has a certain objective morality for a certain culture or piece of people, when you go to that place, when the people do not go into that, they are either killed or ostracized. So that's what I'm saying, is that I get that there's stuff that can happen as a result after that's settled, but I think what I get from what you're saying, that's after a certain amount of decades and lifetimes that people can then say, okay, it's not forced, but it's already baked in. It was baked in from the inception. If you are outside of this particular paradigm, the opposition is baked in. Until you are removed and stripped from whatever you were, your culture was a couple of 2-3 generations down, then it can appear to see that, oh, it's imitation, but is it really? That's my only pushback.
Yeah, and I know what you're saying. I ain't gonna spend too much time on it, but I know predominantly the way things are set up is through force or through coercion through the state. Like the state adopted this religion or this culture or these legalities. So I totally get you on the dominance, but I just know that's not, people don't always just move through dominance. Like a lot of people aren't right now. Like expansion is not the way we move on the country now. Like when somebody comes over to America and they become Americanized, it wasn't because it was forced on them. It's like when they fall, some people just become acculturated. They adopt practices and principles from the people that they're around. So but I hear what you're saying. Like again, on a larger scale, when an entire country or entire region adopts a principle or rule or a culture or religion, it's typically through force or coercion, like financial. So I'm with you.
Absolutely.
I wanted to bring the financial component into this family piece, man. We see the decline in the family. This is Dr. George Fraser talking with a couple of guys, I guess DJ the Money Coach, but I'm gonna let them play.
Beautiful means nothing unless you're black and powerful. Let's just get that straight. You cannot be black and proud and niggas too. Okay, that white folks are planning for 3 generations and we're planning for Saturday night, right? Because all brothers and sisters is to win, not to look like we're winning. I would rather carry a plastic bag with $5,000 in it than to carry a $5,000 Louis Vuitton bag with $100 in it. You ain't in it. Louis Vuitton winning, Nike is winning, Gucci is winning, Armani is winning. You ain't winning. We are the consumption class. They are the merchant class. They make stuff, we buy stuff. It is interesting to me that the rich stay rich by pretending to be poor, and the poor stay poor by pretending to be rich. Right? We got the shit ass backwards. Nothing changes, and all the statistics tell us this. The Institute of Policy Studies, April 2017, the economic state of Black America said, and I give you the final quote from that 300-page study, which no Negro read. Basically said that by 2053, 10 years after the majority becomes the minority, if nothing changes among African Americans, household median wealth will be 0. 0. In effect, we will have worked our way into a second slavery. Try to operate in a market-based economy and a democratic capitalistic society without money. Let's see how that works for you.
Oh
Damn.
man, you
On us. And ain't nobody fixing us but us. White people are not fixing black people. It's been 400 years and we ain't fixed.
it ain't their job.
People are not even thinking about black people. And I'm not hating on white people. I'm just telling the truth. You know who white people are thinking about? They're thinking about white people. They're thinking about their wives, their children, their communities, their schools, their businesses, and your pockets. That's what they're thinking about.
So again, just to show the chart of black median household wealth from 1980 to 2050, 2053. This is the wipeout. Of course, in 2008, there's a big dip, but it's been a gradual decline. And I would say that this probably mirrors the X of the family decline.
Okay, so Arshawn, I missed some of it. So I'm looking at the chart, right? And that decline, what year did you say that was in?
This is going from 1980 to 2050.
Okay, that dip you said is in what, 07, 08?
Yep, right around the house, that house bubble, that bubble bursting in the household.
The crash. Yeah, the crash. That's when the crash happened around that time. And then it has been a steady decline at what percentage? I'm sorry, I'm on my phone. I'm looking and I
don't have a percentage, but I don't have a percentage, but it's just like around the crash, it was around 2,000 projected median household wealth for black people. By 2020, it was around 1,700. 2030, it's about 1,000. So it's just going to be a precipitous decline until our household wealth has completely evaporated.
Right, and I think a lot of that has to do with. I'm sorry, was anybody else talking before I come up here and just start talking?
No. Go ahead,
okay,
you got it.
I think a lot of that does have to do with the decline of marriage and the family structure, right? Because we know once mama or daddy leaves the family structure, you only got one income, right? And then, of course, the economy in and of itself, plays a part too, especially now the way, this current administration is running shit straight into the shithole that we headed for. So I think that has a lot to do with it as well. But definitely the family structure. We know that how many jobs and things have gotten cut within these since COVID have gotten cut.
It's been bad.
Exactly. And people are steady losing their jobs. All these layoffs that just happened. I think with Amazon, over 30,000 employees and 10,000 of those were executive positions, because like my former ex-sister-in-law was one of the execs that lost her job, making $200,000 a year with Amazon. So when you look at the steady decline of jobs and the economy, absolutely plays a part. And then, like you're saying, with the depart of separations and divorces within marriages is causing it. Now we back to just one income. It's not two incomes no more, holding it down together. When we realizing that actually this is a time when we actually need each other more than ever to bring that together. But we're not doing that, for whatever reason. We're not doing it. It's not working out within the Black nuclear family, because that guy was just specifically talking about the decline for our people and how we're, going to be to sub-zero within a certain amount of time, and how the other cultures, specifically the people that crossed over the Caucasus Mountains, is only looking out for them. And rightfully so. I can't even get mad at that. It's because we need to only look out for us within our culture, but we don't do that because our dollars go out to every other culture except our own. So that plays a part in the decline as well. If I can just, say that,
No, for sure. Shout out to Chris Classic in the building. Hot bars here. Were you going to say something, Steve? Say, go ahead.
Yeah, I got something.
I just thought I heard a male voice just jump in. My bad.
Shout out to the comments. Mugs hate the government yet choose their benefits over anything. Shout out to you, man.
Correct. I agree.
Shout out to you. Value. My answer is value, Arshawn. If I could check the correlation with the perception of these people with those charts, that you showed, I probably would see a decline in the perception of each other, of the men and the women. And I think that's where this goes. Again, we don't see each other as, you know, honorable mates and counterparts and husbands and wives and brothers and uncles and aunties, and we just don't do it. It's no unity. Like everything I hear you guys chiming on, we push the kids to be out the house at 18. So guess what? They gone. And yeah, the recession and all of that. And we don't have those 5 people no more, because you push them all away. And now they no contact like a motherfucker because you're just disagreeable. And it's no family. Like we're going through it right now. And not even going through it, but my daughter was working and she just lost her job. My wife works, you know, sporadically, like when it pleases her, because she's like, Chris Rock mama, my man got a job. I don't fucking need y'all. And I told baby girl, like, baby girl, don't worry about that. Like, I got this. But it's good to have capable adults in the house that's able to get up and get it popping when they need to. But if you don't, if you can't, if you don't want to, I got this, because that's my job anyway. But again, I'm the face of this team. And that's where, you know, like, I don't do cheap shit. You see me, Arshawn, I do low. And I don't do no just horses. I got a horse on today, but I do like polo for real. And I don't have no thrift store mindset. Yeah, I might grab a jewel from the thrift store. I know that you can look through and find some pieces, but no, a man can't have that mindset. I need quality shit in my life. Quality clothes, quality food, quality companionship. And that's why that drizzle comes into play. Because when you look at me and you see my shirt and my sweater match and my jacket match with the scarf and they all got the teddy bear on there, like that shit is serious with me. And you're not going to approach me like no sucker, because I'm not that. And that is why we don't push our kids out. My daughter now lives with a man and they about to build a family, but I got another daughter, 20. I got, you know, the one that's 12. And like, we don't push our people away. We got a whole village over here. And when you need us, we here for you. But if you want to go out there and be just another nigger in the world, because again, that's what I tell them, you my baby. But when you cross that threshold, oh, you outside. And they don't give a fuck about you. But everybody ain't like that. Most men, their daughter is their princess, and they give them this fairy tale shit. This is, again, why we sit here. Because this is, y'all, we all got something to do with this.
Mr. So, he said.
Yes.
I promise you, I want to piggyback on what you just said, because you are so right when it comes to how we push our kids out at 18. I regret that, and I'm saying this as an older generation, but it came passed down from me because it happened to me when I was 18. I got pushed out the house, and I ended up doing it to my son. And I regret that. I regret that we have that mindset as a culture. And we know damn well at 18, most likely our kids are not ready to leave the household. You know what I mean? Because most of the time they still in college. You know, they don't have a steady income, and to push them out into the world and say, go get a job, go get your own place, go get out my house. That's one thing I do regret that. And I talked to my mom about it too. I says, we shouldn't do that to our children, because I don't know any other cultures that do it to their children like the way Black people do it to their children. We do kick them out. Like, you got to get out of here. You know what I mean? So you're right. That is one of the things that I regret, because when a time comes for the family really need to be a family and pull together, like you said, your daughter that had lost her job or something. I know plenty families in other cultures whose kids are still within the households, or if they lose their job, they can come back home and start over and build or whatever. And their parents are not having the attitude that we have within our culture, because it's just like, get the F out. So that is one thing that, as a parent, that was instilled in me, that happened to me at 18 when I wasn't really ready. And we should stop forcing these type of things on the children when we know our children ain't ready. Just like we know all our children ain't college material. Some just need to go get a trade And you know what I mean? Like, go take some classes, get a trade, get certified, because you ain't college material. We need to come to a lot of realizations within our family dynamic and within our culture, especially when we're rearing children. Do not force them out to be prepared for something that they are not prepared to do. Our jobs as parents is to prepare them to be ready. And just because they 18 don't mean that they ready, because we let society say, oh, you grown at 18, so you got to get out. But you can't drink till you're 21, but you got to get out at 18. You know, all these, you can't join the service until you're 21, but you got to get out at 18. We allow, and that's exactly what I was talking about, indoctrination and all these different things that we allow society to have conditioned us to do to our own detriment to a certain extent. So I agree with that whole, you know, kick them out at 18. Yeah, that I don't believe that that's the way Black culture needs to continue to rear and raise their children in a family household, when if they know that their child is not ready to go out into society and be a productive adult, tax-paying citizen of the United States of America and contribute to the way that they should.
I would say, you know, I'm part of ADOS, and we've been speaking of this medium income wealth like 10 years ago, that if we do not do a complete redistribution and disaggregating the data between us as Black Americans, because see what he's talking about when he's talking about that zero income wealth, that's from the line of those of us who descend from American slavery that come here. And because we fell into the trap of Reaganomics and respectability politics, the family unit itself was discarded, even from white America for us. They sold us Black excellence, Black business without the same type of government undergirding as they did all of the other Americans during the time of Jim Crow and etc. So for us, being in that position is not to any fault of our own per se. It's the way that, also I will say this now, the previous generations, okay, like talking about I gotta say it, the boomers of our generation failed us politically. Because
damn it, IG, here we go. God.
Yeah, they failed us politically. So you can't then be like, okay, well, because I hear this a lot. Why don't you go and get a house and go do this, sweetie? If you would have did your politics, if you would have did what you did in your state legislature to make sure that yes, housing and the interest rates were lower, yes, education was cheaper, yes, the trades were still in the schools. You didn't do that. You benefit from all of those things when the government was there for you. The government was more active in the boomer's life and undergirding than the next generation. So it's not even just Black Americans. This is true for all other Americans, that the boomer class of people dropped the ball on us for the next generations. So that median wealth for us now is going to be down to zero. So that's why I kind of wanted to say too, that we failed politically, and they sold us celebrityism and sensationalism on top of that during the 90s. So instead of having electricians when the trades and everything was free in the 90s and stuff like that, I remember that when I was in high school, we were already driven. The media was allowed to, from the dominant society, to go ahead and promote us with that. So that's all I kind of, wanted to say to that, is that
that's interesting.
It was government and Reaganomics that we bought into. Instead of, like, while we watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and all of that, white America's watching Roseanne. Because see, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is an anomaly. It's the exception. What we should have been doing is fighting to be representative, seen in the same working class, medium wealth income as everyone else. But they didn't do that because we fell into Reaganomics and respectability politics. So anybody want to jump on that, you feel me? But that's not my opinion. That's what happened in U.S. history with politics. That's why we are not in the same wealth category as all the other people that's here.
I'm not mad at it. I won't push back on any of that. I do have a question though. Which would you think would be more effective? The brutality and the physicality that you initially focused on, or the economic standpoint, the Reaganomics standpoint that you just spoke about? Which one do you think is more effective and has been more effective on us as people?
I would say both, but I would definitely, because you can't have one with the other when you're talking about Black Americans. Because when we did do all the different things throughout the Roseworlds, the Tulsas, and everything, white domestic terrorism, government sanctioned terrorism was allowed to come in, unlike no other people's history outside of Native Americans, of course, that were allowed to have that. So that's two things that's going on. Even after slavery, when they saw during Reconstruction and Jim Crow, when we were more together in that aspect, we were doing the economical thing. But then it took the actual white violence. Because it's kind of like, and I say this too, just like when y'all was speaking on putting the kids out early, let me tell you how we also heard our numbers. What happens a lot of times with same gender loving Black people, I'm not talking about everyone else. What happens is that we get told, and we're not part of the community, and we get told that we're put out. So then what you do now is you have caused Black gay men and women to leave the community, because see what you allow our straight brothers and sisters to have interracial couples. I'm not against interracial couples. I'm just making a point here. I'm saying is that we would allow and ingratiate anything that's not Black to be part of the community. But even when it was something as, okay, 2 Black men and 2 Black women, you didn't say you're not part of the community, get away. That's dollars, taxpayers, votes, everything that could be benefit our zoning for as Black people. So we do this to ourselves. And that's why I be so against, the religion and stuff like that, because I can see where it's divide and conquer. So even if you are a morally person, if you are working, if you never cause first issue, we will put and ostracize someone from our community who is educated and who is willing to get businesses. And that's why, so it's both. You can't have one without the other. I can't tell you that one would work because it's intangible for us as Black Americans. We got hit economically, and we got hit with the violence and the brutality.
Damn, I hear you. Thanks for sharing, man. Appreciate you.
No problem.
Yeah, I'm working on a question. It may not come to me till later because there's something around like the constant. I know you talk about disaggregation, IG. I'm not about to have this conversation now, but there's a question about where should people draw the line as far as who we include to gather numbers in solidarity. Because you're right, there is religion who's like, gay, it's an abomination unto the Lord. So we can't have gays around. So I mean, there is some of that. I got you. And there were people who were like, "Nah, you have an interracial relationship. You're not part of us either. You're a race traitor." So there's a question I'm going to work on. I'm going to think about the question the way I want to ask it, because there has to be a place where there are in-group rules. There are rules that we actually gatekeep for ourselves. There has to be a gate.
Right.
Like there's no point in bringing resources in if you can't keep them. So there's got to be a gate that's kept. But then there's also like who's on the inside of the fence. Right. I mean, that's a conversation too. But I want to get to this next portion of the video real quick. It is about 50 seconds.
Let's go.
Up. Let me bring it up. My favorite habit, not bringing up the video.
I dreamed that having a little baby, you could just cuddle in your arms, just hug all the time, kiss on it, smell it, because it's so sweet. I thought it'd be fun until I had it.
The reality's different.
The reality just punched me right in the eye. I had to pinch myself and see if I was here, because I was like, this is too much.
Clorinda was only 15 when she got pregnant with her daughter, Shaquana. She is not unusual. Half of all Black teenagers become pregnant. Clorinda has never been married. She's still living with her mother at home, where she's raising her baby daughter.
All right. So this also was another thing that I've been hearing a lot too. And I know Mr. He said spoke about it earlier, where the child is fun. It's a play thing. It's an emotional support animal of sorts. I thought it would be fun. I thought why? How are we still having this mentality that having a kid is just some like having a toy. Like, how has that pervaded? We see the outcomes. We see people complaining about being parents. We see people falling out with their kids. We see all the drama in the households. But this mentality is still pervasive. How? And that's all, OG, Mike, how do you think we're still under the influence that it's going to be fun? I'm just going to have this kid. It's going to be fun. I don't need nobody. How are we still falling for the same trick?
Yeah, I think because a lot of times they think, you know, the grass is going to be greener on the other side, right? It's like, oh, I have this baby and I have somebody that I can love and that'll love me unconditionally, you know, to a certain extent. And that's true, right? When you talking about a baby. But then the reality of it comes in. Oh, God, now I got to provide for this baby. I got to feed this baby. I got to clothe this baby. I got to put shoes on this baby feet. I got to make sure this baby have a roof over his head. I got to make sure this baby is warm. I got to take this baby to the doctor every time it gets sick. Now the real life experience start to hit them. And now you alone. And thank God most of them have their mothers, because if they're not married with that man, like I was at 16 with a baby, and that was my situation until after I graduated out of high school, and I end up touring on the road. My life changed when I got in the entertainment industry, right? But if it was not for my mother, I don't know what I would have did with being a teen mom. You understand? So that's our scenario. And a lot of young ladies that I grew up with during that time, some of my girlfriends, same thing. They got pregnant. They were stuck. They ended up having more children. They end up in this vicious cycle, right? A couple of them did. A few of them did really well for themselves. They, you know, making six figures. They doing good. I got lucky to get out of that, but you be in that cycle for a while. And all of us, I remember all of our girlfriends, if it was not for our mothers, having our mothers have us, you know, having our back, I don't know what I would have done. I wouldn't have been able to tour and do the things I did in the industry, work with some of the people that I work with in the industry, because if I had the type of mother that would have been like, you had this baby, you're going to sit here and you're going to raise this baby. I'm not going to watch your baby while you go overseas or you go and tour for 3 months, 6 months or whatever. And my baby was younger, and my baby, thank God he don't remember those times, but it was a time I was gone a lot, you know? So I think, and I have regrets. Let me say that I do. And I think a lot of young women end up having the regret later that they had that child at such an early age. I don't regret having my child, but I regret having my child as early as I had my child, if that makes sense.
Oh, it makes perfect sense. No, that makes perfect sense. And it's good context, because it's you had someone else, you had other people that can help, that can facilitate you still pursuing your dreams and your future while also maintaining your family. And which is, I think, what this one chart was so problematic with that single parent household. A lot of people now, because of the disconnect, because it's not just like the men and women who are separated. I know brother Mr. He said and Mrs. She said and Red Lipstick, they just talked about it. The people are cutting off their friends and family. People are cutting off their parents. People are cutting off a lot of people. So you don't have anybody to.
Yeah, a lot of my friends did, and like I said, they got caught up in the cycle of having more children. You know, so now you got the dynamic of you having children by different men. You're still not married. Then you into that dynamic. You still in the government, you know, assistant program. So you still on, you know, what do you call it? The government housing, and it's a hard, vicious cycle to get out of. And I've seen that with a lot of the younger generation of women. You know, unfortunately, but if you have the type of moms and stuff that had your back and was that support system, they sacrificed for you to be able to still pursue your dreams. My mom was at home with babysitting my son while I was on the road and touring and stuff like that. Once I got 18, 19 years old and was able to tour with my cousin. So with all that and being in that sector of entertainment and being able to do that, I watched a lot of my girlfriends who didn't, and they fell behind, you know, they fell by the wayside. And now then unfortunately their children grow up and be in that cycle. It's vicious and it's crazy.
Yeah. Poverty is a trap, man. We're gonna talk about that in a minute.
That's a fact. I'll jump in now.
My bad.
Mr. He said in IG. Mr. He said, go ahead, draft for the channel IG. You follow that up.
So for me, Sean, I'm gonna have to quote the great Michael Jackson and Mrs. She said, "Tell them that is human nature."
Okay.
Like this is me. Like listen to what she said. I thought this was gonna be this, and it's harder. This is serious work. This was me at every stage of my life. This was me at graduating high school. This was me at going to college. This was me at playing ball. This was me at getting a family. This was me at getting married. This was me at being a father, at being a brother, at being a friend, at being an artist, at being an employee, and so much more. I thought it was going to be one thing, but this is so much harder. This is work. We all have this epiphany. And that's, again, what's so disheartening about it is because village is the answer. Tribe is the answer. But guess what? Those come with bridges, and bridges burn. And a lot of people burn bridges and they think they could be rebuilt again. They can't. They can't. You could say it's no community. You could say it's no village no more. No, the village don't want you back. No, you burn the bridge and you can't swim. So you ain't getting back. So, you know, I kind of wave a different flag that, yeah, this is where we are now, but how do we get here? And I share her sentiment from way back then. All of these things that I'm coming in front of, I'd never experienced before. I didn't have a father. I'm trying to be a father. I never been a husband. Like, I never been none of this stuff before. I never went to college. I never was the first one in my family to graduate college. I never played college basketball before, but I had to do all of this stuff. And it wasn't no, it depends. How did we get here? I don't know. What are we doing here? What's all of the rest of the quotes that they say? What are we doing? I'm confused. I had no time for that. Men, we don't have the opportunity to be confused about everything. And how did we get here? And what is going on here? We don't have that luxury. If that's not attractive, ain't no woman gravitating to that quality. So that's where, you know, I kind of wave my flag. We all go through this, but it's about the relationships that we started this with. Relationships are important, and not just romantic ones, like business, platonic, professional. Relationships are important, and when you don't value them, and that's what we harp our flag on, like being old people, you younger people are not valuing relationships. There's still quality people out here. There's still time to gravitate to somebody. Like I said, you guys are the lighthouse. Like, if y'all not able to judge talent, say that. You're not able to judge quality, say that. But I can. I noticed critically drinking. I noticed Brother C. I noticed red lipstick vibes. And I ain't been wrong yet. So I'm going to continue to wave my flag. A lot of people don't like what I say and they don't agree, but I ain't been wrong yet. I see demons. I label them demons and I stay away from them, and I ain't been wrong yet. So I'm going to keep going off me and my 51 years. Sorry for being so long-winded. I land my plane.
You good? Real quick before IG say, I got to call Mr. He said out. You know, you got to hold people accountable. Because see, he just said he sees demons and he call them out, right?
I do.
But see, that's what he say when he amongst the people. See, when him and his wife alone and they by themselves, this is what he be saying.
Don't do good, nothing good for nobody. Get everything for yourself. Fuck everybody. It's all about you. Fuck the world. Be a demon. Let's go.
See
see
how people when they don't know you watching, they don't know you watching. They out there telling people to be a demon. They don't know you watching.
That's
and
a
then
fact.
Everybody around. Nah, I see these demons and I call them out. Nah, I'm just messing.
I did that. Nah, I did that. That was me. I did that.
No, that was funny, man. I told him I had to clip him when he did that. I was like, oh, he is hilarious, man.
Yeah.
But no, IG, you gonna jump in, man? Go ahead, man. I just had to pick what other brother he said for a second.
Oh no, that's funny. That's real. Now I feel you, bro. When I be laying with my partner, be 16 years, I'm like, man, fuck y'all, burn it, whatever. You know, long as me and mine. But when I look at something Mr. He said that I resonated with me as a black man when he said, "Yeah, we're not afforded the opportunity to figure shit out."
Yeah.
Like you're not afforded to you're not like just period black man. You're just not afforded to kind of figure those things out. And when you talk about relationships, I'm glad I was raised. Somebody got me in the background.
There we go.
What you call it? Because relationships is important to me. That's what my father taught me. Had me at the age of 60. If he would be 100 years old next year, my daddy who raised me, he taught me about relationships. Appreciate you. That village thing, because even with me coming to Atlanta, I've been here for almost going on 2 years, and as a statistic, there should be a statistic of black gay man comes to Atlanta, ends up on street homeless, especially you trying to do some artist shit. But because how I was raised to value not just my romantic relationship of people, wherever I go, my Paul taught me that you get to know the people of that city, that state, the people who is anchored from that place. You don't go stepping, you don't go projecting what you think your backyard should look like on theirs. Bitch, you're in their backyard. You know what I'm saying? So my advance, I mean, that's how I wanted to just say that resonates with me because I love Atlanta not because of the sensationalism of what other people come to Atlanta for. I grew to love Atlanta because the people who are from the Georgia area, the people who come from other parts of the country and the world who've been here 30, 40 years, because I built relationship with the people I've worked with. I built relationship with my neighbors and my community and stuff like that to where even though if I go somewhere new in the area in the city, I still am not a stranger because how I managed to build relationship with the people and going esoteric here, the frequency of the environment of the people. So that makes a difference. You establish all of that by having genuine, honest relationships. I'm not giving these niggas a customer service. You heard me? They getting what it is. Because I can't keep on that facade for you. I don't need you to fall in love. When I'm at work, I have to code switch enough. I'll be damned if I have to do that in my interpersonal relationship. So, this is good stuff. I'm so glad I was able to come here. I'm gonna shut up and hit my bone.
Well, I just want to piggyback right quick on what you just said. That last statement about.
Let me greet Bo real quick. Hey Bo.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for joining the stage. You have to turn off the other audio. It's feeding back into the system.
Oh shit.
You have us playing still.
I got you.
Hey, appreciate you for coming up, Bo.
I appreciate you, man. I just want to make a quick statement and then I'm gonna jump off and just want to hear y'all opinion. Somebody a while back was talking about the village, and I agree with you that we need a village. But the issue that that I'm personally having with the village in my family, in my community, is that we provide a village, but it's like how much the village can take. For instance, I got cousins who she had one baby, the village was there to take care of it. She had another baby, the village, it's like she done had 4 kids.
Yeah.
And it's like, how much how much can you put on the village? And this is just one cousin. This is happening countless times. Secondly, I was watching an interview with this lady and she was talking about maybe I want to have a baby. And she was like, if I can't find a man, I'm just going to have a baby. And my dad and my brothers will be the person that show the boy how to become a man. And I was just saying to myself, damn, did she even ask the dad and the brothers, do they want to take on that responsibility? She just put that on the village. Oh, the village going to take care of it. At no point did they ever say, do these men in the later half of their life want to raise her child because she failed to get a husband or failed to have a relationship with the baby's father? So to me, I just think this whole village idea, it's, I'm a part of a village, but it's like, how much can we take as the village until the village is broken? And I feel like the village right now is broken, and we gotta somehow figure that out. So that's all I wanted to say, man. I'm gonna jump off and listen to what y'all say.
Man, appreciate you for jumping up here, man. I'm gonna let OG Patrice start, man. But I just wanted to thank you for the. I know it's your first time up here. Thank you for hitting the link. It's a pleasure to hear your voice.
I want to piggyback off of what both of them said, AI and the young man that just got off. Yeah, you're right, AI. We should not live in a society where, and we know, unfortunately, when we go into our workspace, we do have to code switch, whether it be because of your race or whether it be because of whatever else of how society look at us, you know, whether it be your sexual orientation or whatever. As a Black woman that works in corporate America now, that is the only Black woman that's in the whole entire office. Yes, when I walk through that door, I have to code switch because I already know what it is when I walk in there. Especially I'm working with a whole corporate America that honors the Mormon religion, right? So we know that's a whole new dynamic too, right? So when you talk about those things, you are absolutely right. When we should not get into our families, our relationships within our culture and community and have to do that with one another. But unfortunately, that's a lot of what happening. And to piggyback on what that young man said about the village and all of that, the village ain't the same no more, right? Like we know that dynamic has even changed from when I grew up. The village I grew up in, we looked out for each other. Everybody, all the neighbors knew each other. We played with each other. We knew the parents. Street light come on. If we ain't in the house, they calling my mama. Type of village, right? We know that yes, that there was the men there to take care of certain situations when ladies were not in a position to take care of. The men will stand up and take care of it, and we not that no more, right? Like the village is so to his point, what he's saying is that's when conversations got to be had about to these young ladies that's out here having all these multiple kids and they probably got different daddy mamas. It's like, you at some point you got to cut it off, sis. Some point you got to go listen. You don't need to keep having all these kids, especially if you're struggling as a struggling mama. Michael Jackson, if you can't feed the baby, then don't have the baby, right? Just to piggyback on that. So right. So this village that he's talking about now is almost non-existent. Yes, we can step up to the plate and help with one mistake. But like Mr. Heasey said, then two, that's problematic. And three, all hell no, like Houston, we really got a problem now. So I agree that the village looks different. And I want to talk about what Vaughn said earlier about the unity thing. And I'm all for that. But we also have to realize, too, as a culture of people, that unity don't mean everybody just because they look like us. We got to know that there are some degenerates that's got to have to fall by the wayside, and we got to kick them out, throw them out, lock them out, whatever it takes, because those are the kind that are going to continue to destroy the community. There are people in our culture, as it is in all other races, that are absolutely degenerates, and they are nothing but bad for the culture. They bad for the village. They bad in your families. They bad in the communities, and we know that they are wreaking havoc. We can't save everybody. I don't even want to save everybody. If we in this boat together, those that are on like minds, and we roll in this boat together, now we making progress. But if you let one person come in and infiltrate, do the COINTELPRO type shit, then what? That one bad apple gonna spoil the whole damn bunch. So we gotta realize that only unity for those that truly want it and work forward and move forward to having it, not the ones that's, out here being degenerate. We can't say, because we cannot save people. We are not Jesus Christ. I'll leave the saving up to him. We can help those that want to help themselves, but I'm not in the saving business because I'm not Jesus Christ. So I'm not trying to save nobody. That's not my job to save. Now, if you need help and come to me and say, sister, can you lend a helping hand? Can you provide a resource? Can you hook me up with this, that, and the other? That's a different conversation we can have. But I'm not here to save somebody that don't want to be saved. I'm not Jesus Christ. That's his department.
No, I'm totally with that. And to Bo's question, man, I wanted to answer that real quick. How much can you put on the village? That is something that we have to determine as groups, as family, whatever groups of people that people are like circling in, their spheres of influence. We have to start putting rules because there has to be accountability and responsibility. There's been too much of an escape from accountability and responsibility. If somebody's asking something of you, you should also be able to ask something of them, or they have to hear the feedback or criticism. And that's been a big thing where people want to take from somebody, but they don't want to hear anything. Well, I need to get this for $50 or $100 from you, but you don't say nothing to me about it. There's a large gap as far as accountability. We got another person coming in real quick. I will greet you in just a second, but there's a really large accountability gap. I think that everybody that's a part of the village has to know that they have a responsibility to the village, and what shape that takes should be towards what the village needs. I also think, though, what we do is because the people that do have the resources within the village, they've typically, I know somebody talked about power tripping earlier. I think it might have been OG Patrice. There is a power trip that happens when somebody might have the better job. So they want to control things. You got to do what I say. But a lot of times we're still talking about adults. So yeah, I have a need, but I should not become your slave because I have a need. So there's responsibility and accountability on both sides. The person that has something to offer and the person that's in need of something. So that's another thing I would say to the person that's constantly having kids. That's problematic, and they should be held responsible. There should be some kind of boundary set up. You keep having kids, but it's going to keep impacting us negatively. There should be responsibility there. They're acting irresponsibly. And they should also be, like, I would say, some kind of acknowledgement that people do have biological drives and urges. And I think we try to police and stamp out people's biological drives and urges. Well, you can't have sex. Now, people are going to have sex. Doesn't matter how poor they are.
Big
They're going to do it. The history has shown us. Doesn't matter how poor they are. If they live in a cave, they're going to have sex. If they're homeless, they're going to have sex. They live in a mansion. There's nothing. If they've sworn a vow of celibacy and live in a monastery, they're going to find a way to have sex. It's just something that people do. We're going to have to accommodate. We know people, but you're going to have to be responsible. And we're willing to accommodate you to a degree, but you cannot keep bringing children here. Or
Tell
you
them
cannot
human
do
nature.
this here. There has to be accountability and responsibility. You have to have boundaries. You have to be able to police those boundaries. Those are things that we have to do as a village. It can't be always hands off. The person that wants something can't always ask for. No, don't touch me. Yeah, can't be. You got to be hands off. Give me stuff, but don't say nothing. Don't ask anything of me. But also, the giver can't be so heavy-handed either, where it's like, no, well, now I own you. You're in my pocket. You know,
and
so
just with giving of maybe even monetarily, like there's no pass down a wealth of information. And that's what's very disheartening, is that one time is a mistake, 2 times is a choice, the 3rd time is a problem or a pattern. I'm sorry, not a problem, a pattern. And the elders got something to do with it. When she had that first baby, and it's not the death of a young lady and now the birth of a mother, this is again another flag we wave. Like the whole baby mother birthing process, the baby shower, and like that ain't nothing but a grown-up party. Y'all come with liquor and food. Y'all don't have no knowledge. The ladies don't sit in the corner and tell her about postpartum, about her weight is getting ready to change, about progesterone, they don't tell her about none of that. They don't tell her about endo. They don't tell her, they don't even know. And that's what's so sad. Because if we're their man and we know, and we say, yo, your period about to come, she'll get mad at me. She'll get mad at me for knowing her body, even though I go inside of this shit every other night. I know your period about to come. Look at how you acting. Oh, how dare you say that to me? And again, this is how we get soft as a society, and we let these people run these patterns on us. And again, the elder ladies didn't pull her to the side and let her know that she's no longer a girl. She's a mother now. She's a whole different person. It should be a whole funeral. Shouldn't be no Henny and music. It should be a funeral for that little girl. And now it should be an introduction. All of the ladies should come into the room, say, hi, I am Auntie so-and-so. Because now you're introducing yourself to a mother. She's a whole new woman now. They don't approach it like that, Arshawn. I give it more thought than they do. And that's why I talk the way I talk.
Yeah, I've seen it. And y'all, thank you so much for joining the panel. Good to see you, Enya. So hello. What do you have to say?
Hi, y'all. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Hey, Ilya.
Let's
Hi.
go.
Hi, everyone. Hi, guys. I'm gonna be real quick because I got my young niece in the back. So, I just wanted to add something regarding the elder perspective.
Okay.
I think that maybe we, us right now that's in our 40s, early 50s, we may have to start preparing ourselves to become the elders that we didn't see, that we didn't have. Because we see that it's a problem. We see that, well, yes, the elders, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. It's kind of now a little too late in a way because they kind of up there in age. So now we have to take our part and do our part and prepare ourselves to be those elders for these young people that's coming up. It's not easy because we're still learning ourselves. We're still learning how to be adults.
Yep.
Even in our 40s and 50s and even 60s, we're still learning, but we just have to have the mindset to prepare ourselves. And it's going to take work. It's going to take a lot of work, but I think we can do it, with time, patience, and some type of empathy for each other and understanding that yeah, we're going to make mistakes, we're going to make errors. Now the person who's out there keep having children after so many times, then okay, yeah, we got to address this problem now, do something about it, but in the meantime we do what we can. And that's all I want to add, just quick.
Yeah, okay, that was cool. Well, thank you for coming up. Were you dropping off, or are you gonna stay for a bit?
I want her to stay because I want her to stay if you don't mind for a few minutes because I want to address what you said. But go ahead.
Okay, I'll stay for a bit. And
All right,
and mind you, this was not like a shot at anyone or anything. I'm not saying that the elders are just failures or anything. I'm not saying that. But we know a lot of them unfortunately didn't have the resources to teach us, so they just gave us what they had. But now we know better, and I'm not saying we know better than them either, but we know what not to do, and we could try to correct the behavior for these kids coming up.
Indeed.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
OG,
So
give me a
okay.
quick second before you go, because IG, I went. Bo had asked the question
Sure.
a while ago. IG hadn't gone. IG, I want you to address that asking too much of the village question, and then we're gonna let OG go. Come back on what Inya said.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, sure. I totally agree because even like when you go somewhere and become part of a village, and that's like a nature thing, it's not just humans. You have to, if you're going to ask for resources, you have to be resourceful in return. So it's one of those things. You cannot in any form of relationship, you should have reciprocity. And if it's just a relationship where you're only receiving from the labor or the hands or the benefit, that's a problem. And yes, and that's the part about a village too. Even though I'm, maybe non-religious, I'm not quite anarchist because I still believe in community and government in that sense. But you can't have that both ways. You can't say that, oh, I want to be part of a village, but then at the same time, with the village decides and wants to do as a collective and is agreed upon, you want to pick and choose when you want to say that you're an individual and then tribal. And that's why, for me, systems and institutions is always important. I'm not against those. I'm against what is programmed and encoded in that motherfucker because nature, even itself, runs as a system, as an institution, as a not an institution. It runs on a code. It runs with different balances and nuances. So yes, any system, even in nature, there is going to be reciprocity. We benefit from the dead. The dead surprise to the soil. We tore the soil, and the cycle goes on and on and on and on. So no, even in nature, regardless of theism, there's a reciprocity there. So no, you cannot be. But then because then you become something parasitic.
There you go.
Then you become something else. Then yet now you're a virus. Because if you're only there to retract from the body, I ain't talking about religion. You know, I'm a heathen. But when you're able to retract from the body only, but still exist within the body and still be sustained because you're in the body, because as that cell or as that virus, you can't exist without it. And that's not just on single mothers here. There's plenty of viruses because you know I'm the black same gender loving person. I'm like, damn, I wish that we had as much vitriol for motherfucking pedophiles in our family as we did homosexuals. But we gonna talk about some more shit. So with that, I'll land my
God
plane.
damn, IG, Lord Jesus. I'm
Make your
flipping
point,
IG.
make
Well,
your
all
points.
righty then.
Come on, IG. Damn.
Well, all righty then, IG. No, I just want to piggyback on the young lady because I would say she's probably at least two generations behind me. So you probably a Gen Xer, Inya?
No, I'm 40, so I guess that puts me.
That's a
You might
millennial. You're a
you might
Yeah,
millennial.
just miss
yeah,
yeah,
that's
That's
what
older
I'm at.
millennial.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Older
you're a
millennial.
millennial. So you're right there with my son. Okay, so I
I'm
am
40 as well. I'm 40 as well as of September. I just had to
Older
put that because I'm
millennials.
too proud. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
okay,
I'm
y'all
40.
millennials. Okay,
I'm 40.
We
okay.
rolling
So
Boo.
IG.
so y'all like two generations behind me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm right on the cusp of Gen X and baby boomer, right? Like my parents are baby boomers. So when you was speaking what you were speaking about, that stepping up and being that village, that's a awesome idea and great when I do see the millennials and the Gen Xers doing that, right? To the Z's and whatever the other ones are that fall behind that. Once you pass the Z's, I don't know what they are, but
Right.
because like my parents were the boomers that come from their parents who are the silent generational. So now you got the Gen Xers like myself, and then so on and so on. We pass certain tradition down, right? Because like you're saying, that village that you're talking about instilling in these younger generation, the Gen Zs and younger, was instilled in me from some of the boomers and so forth like that, being a Gen Xer myself. So you're right in that aspect. But what I see now that it's not really a stumbling block, it's like a hesitation because of, especially with the younger Gen Zs and the younger generation past millennials, is that they don't really like being told what to do or want to listen because of the mindset and the conditioning and the indoctrination that society has instilled in them, right? So they have these certain um things that they go by where they won't listen, and you're going to have to allow them to lie in that bed that they made hard for themselves, the same way I had to, the same way probably you had to, and so on and so on. That happens in all generations. But would you say in your opinion that you see, even from you being a millennial, do you see a big generational gap in the Gen Zs now from the millennials standpoint of how you came up? I would say y'all probably y'all like 80s babies, right? Do you see a
Yes,
Yeah,
big
we
indeed.
difference?
yeah.
Yes, baby. I'm definitely an 80s baby. You heard me, 85. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. I'm 80s. I'm a baby too, but um do I see a difference from Gen Z from my era? Yeah,
Yeah, like
absolutely.
a big generational gap just from your rearing and tradition and ways as opposed to what you see now. And what are those differences that you see that has been a detriment to the culture as well as the good stuff that you see, if it's either or?
Okay, I will say this. I see how the Gen Z, they are more, what's the word I can use? Outspoken. They say what's on their mind. They speak what they mean and what they want. They don't hide it. They don't try to cover it up to a degree because you still have some that do. Um, if they want something, they go after it. They don't allow no one to stop them. You know, they follow trends, whether it's the good or the bad trend, like I mentioned earlier, the quarter zip movement. I love that. You know, seeing these young men change the way, you know, they dress and everything like that. Now, there's a slight detriment to it, to a degree, because yes, being outspoken is not all bad, you know, and it's not all good either, because sometimes you being too outspoken could get you in trouble, where you don't respect authority, where you go out and mouthing police officers or teachers and doing all that. It has to be a balance with being outspoken. It has to be, you got to be able to control it, when and where to be outspoken and to push back against authority, but not in a disrespectful way where it could be harmful to you and others around you. So my thing is balance. Everything has to be balanced, and I think this is what we're saying and the younger generations are saying, that it has to be a straight line across, balance. And until we have that balance, I think we're always going to bump heads, because we see even on TikTok now, you know, my generation is bumping heads with the Gen Zers. You know, my daughter, you know, she's 13, you know, she's, you know, and I have to, okay, let me listen before I react first, you know, because I didn't have that with my mom. No, don't talk back, don't say anything, don't speak about how you feel, just hide it, you know. But I don't want that for my children. No, come talk to me. You have an issue, come talk to me, but watch how you say it, of course, you know, but just come and speak to me. So for me, it's all about balance, you know.
I mean, I think that's the thing right there. Like you said, even with your daughter, like, you know, come and speak to me. I give you that open platform, but I'm gonna need you to absolutely be conscious on how you speak to me, because I'm your mom.
Correct.
And you're a conscious parent. So that brings a whole nother level. And I think the difference is, that's why I use the operative terms, bridges burn. You know what I mean? I know he asked the question, but the answer is in the question. Bridges burn. Now, what is a bridge burn for you, though? That's the thing. It's not just, you know, I don't want to go to the village. I don't want to take the drive. It's too far for my bike. No, the bridge is burned. Like, it's no way back there. And it's only a few ways you can do that, but it can be done. And when you do that, it's going to be hard to kind of get back. And to sum his question up, masculinity can be outsourced. Like, femininity can be outsourced. I come from Mrs. Garrett. I'm a little older than y'all. I come from Facts of Life and Different Strokes. No women in these stories. Like, the women were, femininity was outsourced. Everybody's mother was dead. And that's why I resonated with it, because my mother died when I was young. So it's like, nobody got their mother around. Silver spoons and father knows best. And like, nobody had mothers around, because femininity can be outsourced. But here's the thing, masculinity can be outsourced too. And that's what he was alluding to. But are they proud of it? It's going to be hard to find a man like, I'm proud to take care of somebody else's kids. I'm proud to pay bills to this woman that I'm not married to. Like, it's going to be hard to find them to be proud of it. And that's why the longevity doesn't come into place. And that's, you know, I have a manager. I got two managers. I'm going to land my plane right here. I got two managers. I got a white manager, woman, and her manager is a woman, and she's white as well. So I hear what y'all are talking about the code switching and all of that. But my question to y'all, is that a skill or is that a detriment? Because I could talk to somebody in the boardroom, but I could also talk to you on the corner of my block too. And depending on how you act is where we going to take this. So is that a skill or is that a detriment when we kind of, like y'all said, code switch?
I think for me,
hold up, LG, real quick. One moment. I'm getting ready to step away for a hot second, right? Because I don't have a wife that'll come and bring me a tray of fruits and vegetables.
God damn
Mr.
it,
He
Lord
said.
Jesus.
So I'm gonna go and grab me a quick snack myself with my bare walls, my empty walls with no pictures. I'm
Damn,
gonna
no
grab
pictures.
me some fruit.
God damn it.
Yeah, real quick for nourishment of my body. But Mr. He said, asked the question. OG was talking, and then the IG, OG and the IG. Y'all go ahead after that. I'll be right back. But I'll be listening in.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Go ahead.
I can't stay on. So can I answer right?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Handle your
of course. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Hey,
Then
Yanae.
OG, then
Good to
IG.
see you.
Okay, so to answer the question, is code switching a skill? Absolutely. Because sometimes you have to go to the workplace and put on a show to get the job that you want. You have to do it. You see how I just did that? You put on the voice and then you switch back. Sometimes you have to do it because this is the world we live in. You can't always, and it sucks. It really sucks that we have to do that, but unfortunately, this is the world that we live in. So we have to know how to quote unquote behave. And I hate using that term because I'm not saying that we're like disobedient or anything like that, but we have to put on that mask. And we do it though with everything we do. We do it in court if we stand in front of a judge, if we're talking to principal at school or whatever. We do it every day. So that even has to have a balance too. So that's my whole thing.
Yeah.
Everything has to be about balance. Know when to put it on, know when to take it off, and that's it. Because you'll be surprised, sometimes white people know how to code switch too, and you'll be surprised. But so it's just everything's about balance for me. But thank you for having me on.
I enjoyed
Thank you
you.
for
Thank
sharing
you,
with us.
Annie. We
It was
appreciate you
nice
coming
meeting
up.
you. Yeah,
Nice meeting you.
I very much
Please
enjoyed
come
your
up again.
presentation.
Please come up again. Yes, absolutely.
OG,
Oh,
it's on
awesome.
you, and then IG after you. OG, you got it.
Okay.
Okay, bye guys.
Right, guy. Right, and yeah, no, just to answer, that question, Mr. He said, absolutely. I think that for me, I use it as a benefit, right? Like, because I know if I'm the only Black woman in in corporate America that is ran by Mormons, so that's two things right there, right? Like, I'm the only Black, and I mean the only Black woman, female in that office. Plus, I'm not a Mormon, right? So having to go and code switch is because I have to abide by their Mormonary rules, if that makes sense, right? Like, not that I have anything specifically that I have to do, but I notice like even some of the my white counterparts that work there that have like big tattoos and stuff. That's a big thing in the Mormon corporate world. Your tattoos can't be seen. You can't have multiple piercings. Your hair can't be purple, green, red, blue, none of that stuff, right? Like, and my hair right now is blonde. I wear it short and blonde, right? So I'm good because we know that blonde is pretty much universal. But I don't have a lot of piercings, and I have one tattoo that's really small to the neck and height. If I didn't tell you, you wouldn't even know I have it. So I don't have those issues. But when it comes to things like my tone, because they take that as if you address things in a certain way with a certain tone, being a Black woman in white corporate America amongst Mormons, now I'm problematic. I'm the loud Black woman. I'm the problematic Black woman. Now I'm going to play the race card, all those things. So when it comes to things like that, I have to be very mindful of how I move and carry myself within that corporate America, system, and religious wise too, because, they into a lot of paganism things that I'm not into. I don't celebrate holidays and this and that. So I have to, so when they ask me, oh, well, it's like Thanksgiving and it's Christmas, I tell them, no, I don't celebrate, but hey, go do you all. Just don't have a problem when I do me. You know what I mean? So, and they know they can't discriminate against me for not celebrating holidays because I'll have a hell of a lawsuit. But right. But code switching, I use it to my benefit when I work my ass off, just like my white counterpart. And I know that I qualify for this raise, for this promotion, for this, and I don't get it. Now we got a problem. So because I know I've done everything I'm supposed to do, I know as a Black woman, I got to work twice as harder than my white counterparts, no matter what the situation is. Then I have to know how to move accordingly.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing, OG. IG, it's on you, bro.
All
What do
right,
you
what's
think, man, about the
happening?
code switching and all of that,
Well,
man?
you know what I'm saying? Look, look. I'm about every bit of 265, 75
Come on now.
pounds,
Hey,
right?
Kendrick Cam,
So,
walk it
so
out.
I want to
Walk
show
it out.
y'all.
Walk it
So,
out.
so you feel me? So now
Come
here's
on,
the
baby.
thing. What I have to do when I'm at work, of course, like I've learned because I when I went through puberty, I just got kind of big, and I noticed instantly, despite my voice being, because see, if you don't hear my voice is naturally this high, if you don't hear me talk, when you see me, everyone has the big burly black guy reaction when they physically see me. So I absolutely, especially in cases with women involved, I don't give a damn the race of the woman. I am intentionally more lighter in my voice and my tone with speaking to all women because I automatically just want them to, I don't want them to feel threatened in any sense because of my maleness. That because this is the world we live in, you know what I'm saying? So even and then hold on, and even as a black same gender loving man, like I fucks with Mr. He said, but like let's say if I know people who have your directory or your respect of ideology or what your spirituality is. I would definitely intentionally darken my voice, my nigga. If I was coming across the corner and hearing you, I would talk with a New Orleans accent and everything. But my instinct would be like, well, nah, because I know if I heard certain conversations, okay, I know they have this certain belief. So yes, unfortunately, there are a lot more of us, not just even black gay men, but black men in general have to be performative with each other to where we have to code switch to play an archetype in order to be accepted. So not only do we do it for white acceptance, hell no, my nigga, I've had to code switch in all races. Now, is it not? And now here's the thing: just like playing chess, all pieces on the board. Because see, when you are working class American and you work around other working class Americans of other races, oh yeah, babe, I done been around white folks that code switch like a motherfucker when they talking to that customer, and when that bitch turn them head, that bitch go back to sounding very southern. So it's kind of like that's the part of the capitalism. That's the part of this institution. That's part of why we do that. But every system does that. Every culture. So yes, code switching. It's not like it's a choice. It's somehow it is a method of survival.
Yeah, you.
True that.
God
True
damn
that.
it.
Absolutely. True that.
God damn, IG. You're a troublemaker, IG. I'm clipping the shit out of you. Sean, what do you think? Sean, what do you think about code switching, man? Do you think it's a skill or a detriment or something different, man?
I think it's both. I think it's everything what everybody said first. Like it is a skill. It's a skill you learn for survival. Like what IG said. And now when I say survival, it's not always life or death. It's when I say survival, it's to avoid negative consequence. So even with your parents, you learn to speak differently than you might naturally want to respond because you might get rebuked. You might get slapped on your mouth. You might get hand patted. Whatever your punishment was, you might get a negative consequence. Or even just somebody bigger than you, your big sister. You don't want to talk too tough because when they get activated, they're going to hem you up or lock you in the closet or whatever they do. However they tortured you. So we all learn the code switch pretty quickly and fluidly that certain things.
Would you agree? Would you agree? And this for everybody too, but you answer first. That we all, to some extent, even code switch no matter the race when we're around authority like the police. Or thank you. Okay, then there it is.
Majority of people learn again just through childhood. Just from childhood alone, you learn the code switch. What happens is some adults just become so not just anti-authoritarian, they become like oppositionally defiant. Like some people get antisocial and refuse to code switch to make a point. I refuse to go into any environment without being demonstrative. I'm going to be loud. I'm going to have my colored hair. I'm going to have my tattoos. I'm going to tattoo my face. Just let y'all know I ain't playing by your rules. But almost everybody else, the majority, everybody knows to fit in, how to maneuver different. We all learn to dress different. When you're going to church, you dress differently than you do during the week. When you're going to work, you dress different. Like when you're around your friends, you dress a different way. Like, so it's not even just verbal. It's your body posture. It's the way you style yourself, your hair, your clothes, everything. When you're dating, there's a different posture you take and different tones and different clothes you wear. So everywhere we go, we maneuver to best get the outcomes we want from that environment, except for antisocial people who like to go against the grain, like contrarians, like you said, or in sociology, deviants.
Yep. It's a great
point. That's facts. And Vaughn, you lucky you retired. I still got a ways to go because I still got to play the code switch game. Damn it.
Shit, girl, I work in security in multiple buildings, Jeremy. Like, y'all be surprised. Like, I be stripping people out. I sound like a whole white woman. Thank you for coming for Paces Ferries West. How can I help you? Are you looking for Dr. Connor's office today? Okay, she's on the 17th floor left corridor. You have a splendid afternoon.
Exactly. Yeah, it's crazy, but
I'm using fucking anime. Arshawn. The gag is I'm really using anime English dub vernacular on them.
Wow.
I'm using anime English vernacular dub on them, and it works like a charm.
Yeah.
Come on, IG.
You were saying OG, and shout out to Ine in the chat. Hello, good to see you.
Hey, Ine.
And again, Ine, I did drop the link. If you ever want to pop up or say something, feel free to hit the link and pop up. If I need to drop it again, let me know.
Sis?
Did y'all say Ine or any? Are y'all talking about any?
Yeah.
Y'all call her any.
Yeah,
I call her Audi. We call her Audi.
Damn.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, in the name of Bro Clarence, I'm telling you, and listen, this conversation has been so awesome. We have covered so many different topics, all within one, rolled up into this whole cultural, gender situation, right? Like, it reminds me so much of being on his panel, like having these laughs and and everything. It's so good, and it's been so long. And again, I thank y'all. I really do for this. I thank y'all so much for just acknowledging him and just bringing his memory, back up and the impact that he had on you guys in these YouTube streets. So it's good to see that somebody got something good out that good brother. So I'm just happy for that.
Yeah, we ain't gonna let his name and face go quietly into that good night. We're gonna definitely.
I never had a chance to meet him. So if he is the result of all these beautiful minds that are gathered here, that speaks. I say this as an atheistic agnostic. I said, I can't tell you where your sunrise and sunset. I can't tell you. I don't even be concerned. But you know what I'm concerned with, and this right here is a testament of that. That motherfucking dash. See, that dash is gonna be with the people who still yet live. Tell who the fuck you were, who you were about. That dash is gonna tell you. Like how I've never heard of this brother. May I put respect on his name? But see, the dash. His dash.
Yep.
So, I don't believe in no afterlife or none of that shit. But his motherfucking dash.
Ain't got something.
While we yet live.
We did a whole show on it.
It's telling me. It's telling me who this man was, and may I put respect on his name.
That's the
because
most
of
part.
I appreciate that.
Because y'all are here because of who he was, and that's the shit. When I be talking about, I said, baby, I'm worried about this life.
Yeah, he definitely left a mark in social media on these YouTube streets. He did.
That's why I've been saying that, and look, and I come here and I see what that actually looks like in this life. That's some shit.
You're not lying.
Yeah.
That's some shit.
I saw my face in the back. What's going on?
Your face
back
is
here,
in the
man?
back. Your face is in the back. Let's take a stroll down memory lane.
Crazy question. It's crazy question. Mr. He said, love and abundance, Cerebro in the building. Started this all off with the question. I want him to answer this question as we start off. I want you to answer the question you started this off with. Would you kill baby Hitler if you had a time machine? Would you do it? I want you to start there.
Got you. Thank you for having me, man. Appreciate
Great. In theory, that's a good idea. Theory.
Yeah, forget what I gotta say. Who cares what I got to goddamn say? But after I came up,
bring in brother Clarence. Brother Clarence also simulcasting. Hello, brother Clarence. Good to have you here. I want to ask you again because I can't remember. I remember Rico was an emphatic no, but I can't remember exactly what you said. I think you said you would not. If I were correct, I remember you had a rationale and everybody was trying to come at you. They were trying to make you pro Hitler. I remember everybody was trying to make you pro Hitler that night.
Yeah, that was crazy.
But would you go back and?
That was crazy. He said nothing of the sort.
Yeah.
He said nothing of the sort. And this is the space we in, man. Like, perception is really important, maybe even more important in reality. Like how people perceive you and what they get from it, more important than what our intentions were. And again, y'all different. So these conversations stand out to me. But shout out to him. Let's let him cook.
Yeah. Time. And kill baby Hitler.
Hitler? No, I wouldn't. Unless I was specifically asked by God to do it, I wouldn't do it.
Come on.
Oh man.
Okay. Shout out to everybody in the chat for giving me. I'm gonna do a rundown in a minute. Now, what about again my proposed switch up to the question? Would you? You wouldn't touch baby Jesus either, huh?
No, because I'm kind of like what Mr. He said. I think that it would appear to be a good
man. See, that shit is music to my ears, man. I don't give a damn what y'all say about me. I don't care. Again, when I hear stuff, I look at who it come from. Like that's who it comes from is important to me. And if I can spark one flame that sparks a flame that changes the world, I'm with that. I don't give a damn about how I'm received or perceived, or it's important. But once you get past it, like, okay, you're gonna form your own perception anyway. So how about I be myself? If we get to any bridges, either we gonna cross them or burn them, and then we go from there. And when I hear brothers like Brother C say, you know what, I'm gonna fuck with Mr. He said. He had a nice little thought. That shit is music to my ears, man, because I know I resonate with my people. And like I said, that was the inspiration to talk to the people who are like me, who I see share a certain alike in mindset. So shout out to y'all for being y'all, man. Anybody got anything?
No, I love that, man. That was just that sparked off a series of such fun, crazy conversations, man. That was so much fun because I don't even know why I said I would go get Jesus. I don't even know what possessed me.
Let's go.
I don't even know what possessed me.
Y'all took me through 16 hours of overtime. Yeah, that was some of the best content where I was working so many hours, guys. I remember those days. Man, y'all took me through insane amount of hours out the day.
Valuable.
Oh my God, yeah, y'all are valuable. That is true.
And that's, like, I feel the same about y'all, man. Some days I be at work, Arshawn come on, IG come up, him and Bree and Yella. I'm like, it's time to get off. Holy shit. I just like y'all, we help each other so much. It was times I lost people, yo, and I'm at home sad. And I turn y'all on. Like, give me a minute of normalcy.
Yes.
And that'll help me through this time right now. And I don't think we celebrate that enough, but I'm going to always celebrate it, man. Y'all keep being y'all, having the conversations, and we going to get through anything, man.
Okay. I think I remember my rationale. I was like, not true Christianity, but people who have used the name of Jesus to do some of the most horrific things. And that's why I would eat baby Jesus. I think that's why I think that was my rationale.
It was.
Oh my gosh.
Let's go. Let's go. Let them cook.
I promise you, man. We had some of the craziest conversations. Vaughn had to jump on me one time. Vaughn had to jump on me.
Let's cook. Let's
It
cook.
was funny. It was funny though.
Theory,
Man.
it's like a mountain of ice cream. In theory, that's a good idea, right? In theory,
right?
But in reality, it's when you start crunching the numbers.
Let's go.
Even though things have been this person's ideology and thinking process and his goals have been redirect. Those things have been taken, and people have taken them and done other things with that information and with that with that as a shield. As well, I'm doing something right, so therefore I'm doing it in the name of this person, right? So, but in reality, if we remove that person, how much worse would it be? How much I don't think we're thinking about that part. It's bad now, but it could be a lot worse if we change things around without knowing what exactly the end result, the end game would be. That's my opinion.
Got you.
That's good logic too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you can refute it if you want, but that's kind of crazy work. Yeah. Sean, my bad, man. But I gotta show you.
Oh no, man, you ain't okay. It's all right. It's all right.
Crazy work. Crazy.
Just because some people got women bringing on plates of food, I gotta show it off and always gotta say something on stream. Y'all, I saw all y'all got wives. Ain't nobody bringing y'all plate during y'all streams.
I love that for you, Mr. I love that for you. And you know what's funny with the clip while he was clipping you? I know that's your soulmate because while you said being David, her ass just shaking her head. Yes. I said, ooh.
She was.
I said, look how they compliment each other and not giving a fuck. Yeah, y'all have that. Y'all had that. We don't give a fuck because we are we.
That was crazy, man. That was crazy. But let me greet Anae. Welcome back, brother Brian, brother Vaughn. But Anae, good to see you, Annie.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Anae, what up, sis?
Wow. There she go with that. Hey,
I miss hearing that, man. I really miss
I
hearing
miss you.
Oh man. Ooh. I didn't realize you were doing this today. Hearing his voice. Oh God.
Yeah.
So one, miss y'all.
Miss you too.
Brother Clarence, wow.
Take your time, sis. Take your time.
Yeah, we here.
It's all right.
Trust me, that's how I was yesterday when I clipped this picture.
Yeah,
I was just grabbing it.
It's a lot.
I'm sorry. He was a father figure to me. Like he felt like my dad online,
Yeah.
And I think like it's just I didn't realize that it had taken such an impact on me. And it's like you always think, oh, you have to meet someone face to face for them to touch your soul. But that's not true. It's your soul is touched by other souls. And he was such a gentle man and very kind, always thinking about other people. I just miss him. I miss him.
Yeah.
A whole lot. But I'm not sure what y'all were doing the whole stream with him, but I thank y'all for just paying homage to him like this right now. So whatever you did, just showing his face up here, he was very impactful. And he wanted so much for young men. And I don't know if y'all remember, but he was working on a nonprofit organization. And what's so funny, because we were working on a business plan for it, and I had reserved the domain for it, and I just got something the other day saying, did I want to renew it? And I just can't let it go.
Wow.
But that's one of the things that I've been like kind of doing this time away, is I definitely want to make sure that what he was trying to breathe, get some air and just do something so that I can help with young boys as well. So I want to leverage off of some stuff that he thought was very important for young men. So, but I miss him. I love y'all. I know I haven't been up in a while, and I need to definitely apologize. I'm not.
We love you too,
I'm not
sis.
ashamed of what I needed to do. So, but I know that, like, you know, when you show up and people see you and then they just stop seeing you for a while, and you know, just like no consideration sometimes to like exiting out as gracefully as you should have. But I miss y'all too. Y'all have been very impactful to me as well.
Praise God.
I enjoy seeing you, Mr. He said over there at church. Church service.
Praise God. Praise God. Every Sunday on Generation. Praise God.
Amen.
And Patrice is like a big sister. I thank y'all for understanding too, you and Vaughn. So I just really appreciate y'all. But,
yeah, we love you, sis.
And I don't want to rush off anything, but tonight is like a holiday party. So my cousin is coming to pick me up, and I'm not even dressed.
Love you, Anae. Love you, girl. Keep doing what you do out here.
It is so good to hear your voice.
We love you, sis. It's so good to hear your voice. We miss you.
All right. I love y'all. Hey, and thank you again, Rashawn and Mr. He said, for doing this. It feels like family. Like, so I want y'all to know that just because I met y'all through YouTube, it does not mean that y'all are like at this, you know, arm's length away from me. Mr. He said, at one point, I'm going to come to Baltimore and visit you and Mrs. He said.
We got you. We
but
got
y'all
you. We'll
are,
be here.
I love y'all. I mean that.
Likewise.
I
We
love
love you
y'all
too.
like y'all
Likewise.
my family.
We love you too.
And I thank y'all for
Love
being
you too,
patient with me.
sis.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, but thanks you for letting me come up.
For sure. You always welcome. Go get dressed. And we love you too. Glad to hear your voice. But go enjoy your time tonight. And I do plan on doing this at least once more. Second part to this. So definitely we get to run it back.
Okay.
Yeah, I got something cooking up too. I got something cooking up too. I'll let y'all know.
Did you play the clip of the game? Maybe when next time
I did not. I did not. I might have to pull a clip from that because that was crazy.
Oh yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, we could do that one too and have fun with that one.
That was a lot of fun, actually.
It was.
Yeah, that was.
All right. Love y'all.
Love you too. Enjoy yourself, sis.
All right. Okay. Bye-bye.
Wow.
See you in church.
Listen, I just hopped back up here because, you know, that clip that you showed about the baby Hitler and oh man, listen, that just brought back some memories. I said, what is our Sean talking about now?
I know that was crazy. You were offended because I was wilding.
Like,
I was wilding. I was going ham on that. I went as far as I could. I pushed it. I pushed it.
That was hilarious, man.
Oh,
when I look back,
God.
I said, what is he talking about?
Oh my gosh. Yep. Eat baby Jesus.
Arshawn, you was always pushing it, Arshawn. Stop it. You was always pushing it.
But not that far. That time that was about a good month. I went as far as my mind would take me. It was transgender Adam or Eve was the first transgender.
Yes.
It was a bunch of them.
We had a panel. We talked about that, and it was like it was a whole week. I mean, it was
crazy. It was crazy.
It was going hard. He was going hard. But I tell you, y'all, I was working insane hours, and Oh shit, that got me. See, like how I'm screaming. Like sometimes it'd be good too if I'm working overnight, so I really could actually listen, and that would keep me up.
Oh God!
It
Yeah,
was
but I
even
mean,
definitely
cool.
thought-provoking, for
the
sure.
the replays, you heard me, would be have
Man,
me
come on,
like
man.
coming through like wow. Even a replay, I'd be like shit. So man, I really appreciate that. You know, the inspiration of, you know, and that's the earlier that just resonated with me because I've been talking to people about that. I said, baby, look, I can't tell you where you come from before you're born. I can't tell you where you're gonna go where you're after. It's really not my fucking concern. But what I will be able to tell you is that that line, that dash, that's who
Yeah.
folk gonna say who you were.
Come on
That's who
now.
folk gonna
Mm,
tell you who you be.
you ain't lying.
That's who folk gonna tell you, baby, regardless what you want to believe or not. The fact of the matter, those who while we yet live, that's who they gonna say. So I love that, you know, I feel like I'm coming in on something, you know, this is somebody's respecting somebody's life. And, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, us coming together from different parts of the world through the conversation. And if this is the person that, you know, inspired the heated baby Jesus.
Listen, man, stop laughing like that. Listen,
Hey,
they funny.
I'm sorry. Hey,
Oh
no, but
man,
see, no, it's genuine. No,
I was
it's a good
traumatized, man. I
genuine.
was just like,
It's
what?
Yeah, I
it's
know. I
genuine
know.
to my
Yeah, it was
soul.
not IG. It
Yeah,
was me. It was me.
man.
I started this
But
whole
still,
Yeah, the whole time
nonsense.
but
for us,
Yeah,
man.
still,
I
We
but
started it,
apologize,
still,
man.
y'all.
but
Mr.
still,
He said
all in
start the time
all.
for us.
I
He
did.
jumped in the
But
I'm
yeah,
chat.
sorry.
Oh
but all in
wow,
all,
wow.
it's all around the memories of, you know, us connected. So that's a beautiful thing, and I love that because it's like wow. See, you never know who you know is connected to, and
Yeah.
is influential, and so and that's that line. That's that dash, you know. Y'all go. I want people to when I whatever the fuck I croak, I want y'all to be like, yeah, I'll show y'all kids. Oh, that nigga IG. Let me show you what this nigga said on this panel. Oh, baby, he like he said he wants. You know, I want that to be part of that line. That's that
That's a fact.
dash.
That's a
Mm-hmm.
fact.
Wow.
That's a
But
fact.
you know what,
Yeah.
That's it.
Brother Clarence had a way of bringing all type of people together.
Yep.
You know what
Yes.
I'm saying?
Yes.
And you know, I'm Christian and he's Muslim
Yep.
and I mean so many different types of people he was able to pull together in one place, you
Yeah.
know, just to have conversation, you know, just to kind of go back and forth and get understanding from each other. You
Oh
know what I'm
God.
saying? And man, I tell you, you know, when I think of the times when me and Patrice would say, now, Brother Clarence, don't go over there. We would
Yeah.
try to,
Yeah.
we would try to
Hey. Oh no, my favorite was after y'all told them not to go over there. My favorite was the stream when he got ran away from over there and he was fussing and fuming. I went over there, they gonna say this about me. Nah, they some busters. They some busters.
Them busters. Them busters. Man, I was mad too. I said, "That's right, brother."
It got to the point to where you know, I really didn't even feel good about saying I told you so. You know
exactly. Look, we already knew he was gone. We was just like, oh brother, let's go over there and have his back in the chat.
Man. It was some good times because I was like, man, y'all warning. And I wouldn't follow over there. I'll just wait for that live to pop up at 10:30 at night on my time. And he fuming. And whoever he was fuming with would come over, hit his link, and they talk it out. And by the end of it, everybody be cool. But I'd be cracking up like he is going off.
That was gold. That was internet gold. Internet gold.
And also his theme song in the beginning.
Yeah.
We all
25 to life.
familiar with that rap.
Yeah. 25 to life.
Yeah, man. Crazy.
Dear God, please don't let me relapse.
Yeah, don't let me relapse.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so
all right.
Eric,
I think we got his final thoughts, man. Let's get his final thoughts, y'all.
Let's go.
Man, I was honored to be on the panel with such distinguished gentlemen, man, and passion flowing for me. it's all good, man. You know what I mean? We could do all this. We can go back and forth, and then we can go get a glass of lemonade or whatever, man, and just chill, man, some fish or whatever, right? So, you know, it's just men. We just sharpening each other, you know what I mean? So, but anyway, my last remarks on this is a good conversation. I love to open the conversation, and of course, I don't think any of these men are looking to insult anyone. I don't think anybody's trying to do that. I think we're just opening the conversation to just have some open conversation that a lot of us think this way or have these questions, but we don't want to shock anybody and ask. So here's a safe place where we can ask some of these questions that might not be that you know, palatable for a lot of our brothers and sisters that are believers. And so you know, but you know, support the brother Arshawn, support Yellow, support Mr. He said, support Bonnet, support Von Bryant, support everybody that's on the channel. You know what I mean? We just men sharpening each other's knives, and you know, we're gonna finish this conversation. Hopefully, maybe I can host it, or maybe Mr. He said, or Yellow, or Vaughn, or whoever wants to host it. We can host another one, man, because we got to get to a lot of these questions. I think it's just good to talk about it, have the discourse. Maybe we don't agree, right? But that don't mean, oh no, now I can't listen to Arshawn because he don't agree with me. Come on, man. You know, we got to be men about the situation. We're not gonna always agree with each other on every point, but the respect is there. And so we always I may not agree with Arshawn, but I definitely respect his position, and you know, I definitely respect him for having it. So and I feel he feels the same way towards me. So and all of the brothers, I feel the same way about all of the brothers. That's why we can have this conversation, and nobody's gonna get, oh man, you got something against me personally. Nah, it's not. We ain't looking at it like that, man. It's all good. But anyway, you fellas, thank you for allowing me to come up and talk, and I appreciate you. Let's do it again real soon. Arshawn, you got my info, man. Hit me up and let me know when and where. All right,
will do. So real quick, before you dip out, real quick.
Yes, sir.
So you will now you're willing to assassinate baby Jesus, right?
We gonna leave right there. We gonna leave right there.
You know what? Listen, you know, just hearing him call my name just now, you know, that did something to me.
Great stuff.
You know, because you know, I think that I'll never hear from him again, but just hearing him say Vaughn, you know, oh man, that touches my heart right now.
I mean, this is, yes, indeed. This is what IG is talking about, man. That dash and what we do with that dash in between the date. We all got the date we came. We all got the date that we leaving. We don't know it, but the Most High do. Somebody know the date we leaving. And what you do with that dash, though, is going to be very important, because you leave an impression on people and they get to tell the story. That's what I was talking about, perception earlier. Like, I have a perception of y'all. And it's on me. Now, if I'm in a room and they talking about Brother Vaughn was a demon and Brother Vaughn was cantankerous, and I sit idly by and say nothing because it depends and they got the right to their opinion. No, not in my world, y'all. I'm the one that says, nah, fuck out of here. Brother Vaughn was a righteous brother. I got the proof to show you. What are you talking about? And that's why, you know, we kind of exist, because there's too many people that sit idly by while Brother Malcolm name get tarnished and Brother Martin name get tarnished, and now Sojourner's name is tarnished and Asada's name get tarnished, and it's because no one said anything. And back to my initial answer, my shit circular, it's the lack of celebration, the lack of Arshawn. We don't celebrate our people, whether it's the men, the women, the families, us as individuals. We got to see each other as something other than ops, other than G's, other than niggas, we got to see each other as something different before we start treating each other different. Shout out to y'all, man. Thank you for having me. This was amazing. Rest in peace to my brother. Hamdulillah, brother.
Yeah.
Brother C.
The show, man.
Man, you know, that hit all the way home what you just said, because we don't celebrate each other. You know, we just don't. We've run away from that, you know, and then we wonder why we're having the problems that we're having. It's because we're so divided. You know what I'm saying? Where is the love? You know, where is it? You know, we used to have that for each other, but somehow it has dissipated. It's on the demise, you know. So you have to wonder, where is true love at? But man, you know, just hearing his voice, and I love what you just said, Mr. He said. I mean, that really hit home for me.
Thank you,
You know,
brother.
that really hit home for me.
Absolutely. Just to piggyback off of that, you know, Mr. He said again, thank you, and Arshawn, for just acknowledging a brother, you know, as men, you know, not many men not even want to uplift another man. So again, it comes back to what Bond said, you know, but you know, Bond, I gotta hit you with the Bible verse. What did the Bible say about love has waxed cold? That's a lot of what's has happened in our culture, you know, and I would love to see more of that. I know that we spreaded it amongst each other. We gave it every time we hit platforms. No matter was it Mr. and Mrs. He said platform, they come over to Bro C platform. We had our Sean platform. We had Brother Bolo platform. It didn't even matter wherever we was. We spreaded love and we made a difference, and that was all through starting on that platform with Brother Bro C, you know, and branching out, you know, and everybody doing their thing. So when I still see Mr. and Mrs. He said, she said, being consistent in what they do, Arshawn being consistent in what he do, everybody that's still left that come from that has a platform that ain't changed up, ain't flip-flopped, ain't switched up, and none of that, I love it. I'm always come through. I'm always say my greetings and salutations, and if I want to come on the platform, I'm gonna say drop the link and we gonna have a conversation. So I'm grateful that Bro C left us with that, and we will always have, you know, these videos to come back and hear his voice and hear him call our name and things of that nature. So yeah, again, I'm totally moved. I miss that brother so much, and I loved him so much, and I'm glad I got the opportunity to tell that brother that I loved him. Like when I saw him in person, and so we would always have that thing every time, even when we were on the phone. The end of the conversation, he'd be like, "I love you, girl. I love you, sis." No, so we just had that. Yeah. So thank y'all again. I'm gonna get off because I'm getting a little emotional too. But I love y'all.
Yeah,
Please continue to keep this legacy going on. Y'all making a difference. Believe it or not, y'all making a difference. People hearing y'all and they touching, and hopefully they'll change. This is life changing for them.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, OG. Much love to you.
Thank you for sharing your time.
All right. Love y'all. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.
Love you too.
Yeah, and let me just say this to Mr. He said and his wife. You know, you all are definitely doing a great work over there. You know, you're pointing out some areas that, you know, some of us are pushing under the rug that we, you know, sometimes things are so ugly you don't want to look at it. You don't want to take a good look at it, you know. But your channel forces us to see where the decay is. You see what I'm saying? And so if we see where the decay is, maybe we can do something better. Maybe we can do something different. You know, if we cover our sin, then we can't prosper. And you guys are doing such an excellent job over there when it comes to the family and just that whole nucleus of the family and what that looks like and what it is and what it should resemble, you know. And for that, I appreciate both of you, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Brother Vaughn. I appreciate that, man. We played a clip of you and Brother Clarence, you know, sometimes at the beginning of our show when y'all are speaking positive words about us. And again, when people say stuff, I kind of look at who it come from. I could care less what you say, but if IG say it, if Arshawn say it, like this is a person that's given a certain sensitive overview of all of this. So it kind of hits different, man. So keep being who you are, keep being the inspiration, and you know, I got nothing but love for y'all, man. IG, it's on you, man.
And you know, of course, it's always like such a, you know, I don't, yeah, it's like I never know in a good way what type of conversation or premise that I'm gonna walk into, you know, and sometimes it can be very light and it can be real heavy. It can be a mix of all the emotions and everything in between. So it just resonated with me that wow, because I've been stating that and saying that to people a lot about that dash analogy, you know, because, you know, I have to explain to people just because if I don't think or believe in the afterlife that I don't value this life. No, for me, it's precisely the opposite. Hello?
Yeah, we still hear you, bro.
Yeah, okay, well, I got to go quiet. Okay.
Cooking.
Yeah, precisely. For me, it's precisely the opposite. So,
and we was listening to your dash.
Yeah, my dash. Yes, thank you. Appreciate that.
Right, add to that dash, baby. Add to that dash.
Add to that dash. You know what I'm saying? So, I kind of lost my train of thought there for a second.
You said you value this life. You value this life.
I value this life. Thank you. I value this life more in a sense. And with that being said, even when I don't have to always agree with, that doesn't mean that it has less value just because I'm in disagreements of it. And I can respect people that even where I might have disagreements with, where I can see where our humanity in this life resonates, and how through that we peacefully coexist. Because truth be told, we're not all supposed to think alike. We're not all supposed to have this one perspective, and that's why I struggle with institutionalized belief systems, because I see that as the way. But I digress. It's still, I live in a world to where the variety of those things and not belief are allowed to be in one existence. So I appreciate that, even with me being a person who is furthest away from the beliefs or analogies of who this person is, this person still affected my life positively through the interactions with people who he touched. And that plays the role in the dash. That plays the role in society. That's how we yet live. I'm not concerned, because my fame to claim is I'm not going to heaven or hell with none of you niggas. This earth experience with you motherfuckers was good enough. There's no ideal. There's no reason, logically or emotionally, I would want to go to an eternal extension of this with you. Hell no. So for me, for me, so that's why this is. So I do appreciate, that's my final thoughts. I do appreciate that it shows to the testament of how I've been spreading that message that, wow, and here I am with someone who I've never, heard of, but still being connected, right? And affected through the people he left behind who know him, who he yet lives. Right? That's the dash. So this has been awesome. Thank y'all. As you love all of y'all. I appreciate
Don't leave yet,
y'all.
IG. Don't leave yet. Hold up. I gotta hate on you. I want to hate on you for a minute. It's too much daylight. It's too much daylight back there. It's dark as fuck over here in Baltimore. This is crazy.
I'm
What is going on?
Atlanta. I'm downtown Atlanta, baby.
What is going on in this? What in the world?
I'm in the South, you heard me? I'm downtown Atlanta.
Looks good, bro. But you have a good day, man. Thank you for taking the time out your busy day, man. We appreciate you.
Yes, indeed. I heard y'all. I'm about to go walk to this little Publix, you heard me? Get me some alkaline water, and then grab me a scooter, go get dressed, and then ride that scooter to work.
Come on now.
That's a plan.
Salute to you. Salute to you.
All right, IG. Take care, man. Much love.
Later.
All right, gentlemen. Well, I just popped back up here for a second, but I guess
Thank you, Brother Vaughn. Thank you for your time, man.
Let you guys close it out.
We appreciate
Yeah, that'll
you.
work. That'll work. All right, Brother Vaughn. Man, it was a pleasure hearing your voice again. But real quick before you go, because everybody, I was gonna tell everybody, we got all these long strokers up here. I was gonna make a joke way back when we were talking about my profane series of streams. Brother Vaughn, we had this one conversation. I don't even remember which one it was, but I was like, I remember I was saying, if this is what God would do, that's a dumb God. And I remember Brother Vaughn was so bothered by that.
That one was, that was it.
He had to drop down. But listen, then he came over, him and Brother Clarence started a stream. Because they were so bothered by it. This is what they were sounding like. This is a conversation.
It's because he's scared of this nigga Rashawn. Then I confronted Rashawn. And this motherfucker didn't even deny it.
I'm going to handle Rashawn.
You are an idiot, bro. You are a dumb ass.
God damn.
That's how they was over there. I'm going to handle Rashawn.
Oh, man.
Rashawn ain't even deny it. I was like, dang.
Wow.
It was crazy,
man.
It was crazy. But we had a good conversation behind it, because I wasn't trying to disrespect either of them. I just have.
Yeah, but we don't always agree. We don't always agree.
Absolutely.
And that's okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the love
It
is
was
still
so
there.
fun. Yeah,
Yes,
man.
indeed.
It was so fun, but it was a funny time because it was a big contrast of belief systems. But we were able to have the conversation.
I got very passionate on that end.
Yeah, you got passionate.
I recall.
But I can understand if I believe what you believe, you call my God dumb or even insinuated, I'd be offended.
Yeah, because man,
Yeah.
I fear God. Listen, that's the beginning of wisdom. So for me to even mouth something like that, I'm just like, where am I at, Lord?
Right. I mean, that's essentially like talking about somebody's mom or dad. Like you talking about my parent. You talking about the person that saved me, that raised me, that loves me.
Exactly.
Here. So I understood where the passion came from. I never wanted it to be misunderstood. I completely understand. I took no disrespect from it, and I didn't intend to. I know how it came across, and I wasn't trying to be harmful when I said it. I was just expressing my thoughts, and I know y'all understood that after a minute. But I also, even understanding where I was coming from, it don't matter because I'm still talking about y'all's daddy. You know, that's still my daddy.
It's a good learning experience because it teaches you, how to respond instead of react. So if I look back on it, I say, okay, now I reacted. Maybe I could have took time and thought about it a little bit and responded. It's always better to give a response than a reaction because, a reaction is basically like knee jerk, and sometimes you may react in a way that you didn't even expect yourself because you didn't think about the situation.
Absolutely.
So man, but we've had definitely some interesting conversations down through the years.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And that's what it showed me, that conversations have a, they take on their own road. You know what I mean? It depends on the intellect and the company in which you keep. We could start out at X and end up at, A squared because of the people that we're entertaining. So, this latest instance with Pearly, I believe it was, where she said something and it was in an uproar and it was like, well, the capacity of the people that was there wasn't really ready to entertain that conversation. And that's where, I kind of waved my flag. We got to be mature enough and articulate enough to be able to entertain these conversations no matter where they go. And then we either take from it, throw it away, whatever the case may be. But I think the maturity is what kind of stands out to me when we are able to have hard conversations, still come back together, and the love, like Brother Vaughn said, is still there, man. What you guys think?
Exactly. And I watched the whole Pearly thing unfold the way that it did, and I said, wow, isn't it something how it's like we give this, we allow this individual to affect us so. Why is that? Why do you think that is, brother?
Right. I mean, it's, a perfect storm of things. Hit dogs holler. The truth bears a certain level of hurt with it. But again, the lack of maturity is what stands out to me because, she says some things, but, if you were mature enough and held your decorum, you could kind of swing the table around and point out some things to her that her people were a part of that were extremely violent and extremely one-sided. And let's see where this conversation goes, or even entertain the conversation on the other side of the spectrum, which we seen, was kind of operative, that she doesn't know the numbers on the white side, but she knows the numbers on the black side. So just holding your composure and just let's have the conversation if that's what we're here to do, quote unquote. But that's when I wave my flag and say, a lot of people are just bullshitting. They don't want to have the conversation. They're not looking for the solutions because the solution is kind of in the problem. If you really just humble yourself, look at what you can do better, I think that's where it starts. But you see where you see where we are, guys.
Wow. Well, listen, I'm gonna go, but I definitely appreciate the conversation.
Thank you, brother.
And I do leave a little more enlightened. You see what I'm saying?
That's our goal. That's our goal. All of us. All of us.
So when that occurs, I know I'm in the right place. So God bless you, brothers, and hope to see you soon.
God bless you, brother.
Absolutely. Take care, Brother Vaughn. Always good to see you and hear you.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, and as you said, Mr. He said, we started at X, and then we ended it. What did you say? A1. Like,
you know what I mean? A squared and like
A squared. There you go. Yeah. So we went all over the gamut. I wanted to honor Brother C in that way, that I wasn't dogmatically adherent to the topic. Once we start flowing in a different direction, because that's where people's hearts and minds was going, and we're gonna go in that way. And that's what he would do. That's one of the reasons I loved it. When the conversation flowed that way, he would flow that way too. He didn't try to hold everybody to, like, I mean, I promise you, I was just looking at one of his videos, and it was like, we're trying to do Exodus 18 again. And like, let's finish it this time. It was like, because they tried to go through the chapter like 3 different times. Got a little off
track. It did. We get a little off track.
I love it. Yeah, I love being that open to it because it's a conversation. It's not content. And that's,
and it's exactly what we've been speaking about. Like sometimes, you know, the concentration is good, but sometimes we got to be able to kind of go off rails and have the conversation because we don't know where it's going to lead. And although we have an itinerary, it starts to become more studious and feel like a classroom. And that's, you know, where things start to come in at. And that's kind of where we kind of like that. Yeah, okay. But when you come, you know, you can't start with no whiteboard. You know, we learned something last week because this is a class setting. So let's continue to go on our, you know, syllabus, so to speak. So, but sometimes it is absolutely good to improv. And again, that's just a part of well-roundedness, man. If we go off the rails, let's just improv through, get through it, and get back to the itinerary. So like the young lady said in the earlier video, we could get back to the ops later, but we need to control the things that we control first.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And I think that was very, very operative.
Yeah, that was good insight. Hindsight, foresight, insight. Shout out to Mr. He said with the verbiage, man. Great vocab over there. But listen, I ain't gonna force the content down y'all's throat today. We already been 3.5 hours. I am going to probably revisit the topic to finish up because I did compile quite a bit of information. So I'll probably come back for that before we actually get to the second part. So there'll be a second part of this first part.
I'm here for
at some point, and then we'll get to the second part, which will be the super predators. So we are going to go in sequence to the best of our knowledge. But again, we also want to honor Bro C because these are community conversations. So what I'm going to do is still after about an hour or so, like he would do, drop the link so that the conversation can be had by the people in the community. It's not being, you know, preached at. We're going to speak together. So, you know, honor his legacy, his spirit. Because again, he's been on my heart for, like I said, about a month, and I never pulled the trigger on doing these streams. So I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed hearing the voices I heard today because space. I haven't been in space with these people since he's passed.
Yes.
So I'm so thankful for that, man. I appreciate you coming up with me to do this. Hopefully, again, I'll let you know when we can reschedule it. Yep. And everybody, please, I know everybody here supports the Ohio State Buckeyes. The Big Ten Championship happens in about 1.5 hours. Man, make sure you support the Bucks. Go Bucks. And behind that, any wrestling fans, NXT deadline is approaching later on tonight, so you know, keep your eyes on that. If those things, football, wrestling, all in. But again, if nothing else, I do plan on doing another part of this during the week or next week. So over on Critically Drinking, and I'd appreciate everybody who can stomach me yell it and breathe because we do get toxic sometimes. So everybody that can still love up,
y'all.
I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all because I know it's an acquired taste, man. We're
I love y'all,
man. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of acquired taste, man, let me hit the background switch.
Y'all touched on something that was amazing the other day with the ancestors and the elders, and even from the grave, there's a certain aspect of control, and I think that should be considered. That the younger generations feel a little one-sided when it comes to that authoritative nature. So I thought that was interesting. Yeah. Shout out to y'all for even bringing that perspective up, and I'm gonna do some research on that, man. Shout out to y'all.
Yeah, that's what we do this. I only because I saw it, I guess, firsthand in person between two individuals could I understand it on a broader perspective. When I was younger, it was do as we say,
right?
Like do what we say, and that was it. It was very authoritarian. But with my nephew, everybody was much more permissive, and I was kind of like a guardian of his autonomy. I wanted him to be able to have a voice because I didn't have any voice or choice when I was getting raised up. You talk back, you get slapped in the mouth. I didn't want that for him because it can break your spirit. He's a young man. I wanted him to have his fighting spirit when he went out into the world. I didn't want him to go out defeated. So in seeing how people tried to douse his fire when he felt passionate, when he felt like this is important to me, and because the world will always try to shut down a kid, somebody that's a minor. You don't have a say. This is our school. This is our job. This is whatever. You're going to do what we say because you're a minor. And in the family, the same dynamics were at play. And I tried to stand up for him, like, no, because this is his life. He's got to learn to make choices of his own, because he's going to be a man. You can't wait until he's 18 and expect him to flip a switch and know how to make decisions that benefit him. He's got to practice this as he's growing. So I was a big advocate for that. So young people a lot of times don't get what you're talking about. They get sunned. They get kind of punked. Like, they get pushed to the background. Children should be seen and not heard. So they don't get their voice. They don't get their choice. And I want them to have that voice, because this is what happens. They quit listening. If you don't allow them a voice in what's happening to them, they're going to quit listening. And they're going to rebel eventually. And that's what we're seeing. The young people just do not care. There's no reverence for the older generation. So you have to consider what they think and what they feel, because they're alive. They're experiencing the negativity too. If you're in poverty, they're in poverty. If you had to touch your uncle and he's still in the family, that means they got to touch your uncle. Everybody acts like what happened to them, and those people are still around and the circumstances are still around. It doesn't fall upon them. The sins of the father do get visited upon the son. Like, so yeah, that's why I feel so strongly that we do need to start considering how things impact the young people, because that's why they're acting out. What they say, the person would burn down the village to feel the warmth.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. Y'all know that it's like an African proverb.
Indeed.
The child will burn down the village to feel the warmth. It's something to that effect. Somebody will drop it in the chat for me. Appreciate you. But if y'all could drop it in the chat, there's something about that where the young people, if they don't feel the warmth of the family, they don't feel the warmth of the village, they'll burn the village to feel warmth. They'll become the arsonists and the anarchists. They'll burn the village down. And that's what we're seeing. Young people are terrorists now. But they became the super predators that were predicted 20 years ago when they thought they were out of control. No, now they're out of control. Because now they're killing the parents, they're killing the siblings. They are killing 5-year-olds. They are beating and maiming 5-year-olds. And they're not even 12. Like, this is insane. But it's because it started somewhere. And if we don't put a stop to it, it'll keep getting worse. Things don't just magically get better.
Right.
So like the youth are important. We have to look at it. And if we don't, so I know the way you research, I know the way you look into things, I know the way you cover stuff. I know it's going to be good. So whatever you look up, it's meaningful. And I know that's why you and your wife speak up so much for children and the youth, because as corny as it is, the children are the future. I believe it should. Yeah, that's our future.
Come on now. Teach them well and let them lead the way, right?
Exactly.
But if you don't teach them well,
yeah,
you know, so it's definitely two lines to that bar.
Absolutely.
Sing both of them, you know what I mean? Yeah. Teach them well. That responsibilities on us, y'all.
Yeah, absolutely. So, man, teach the children well and stop giving them hell. The Bible even talks about don't provoke your children to wrath, man.
Come on,
the Bible. Everybody likes to, all those same people that preach the Bible will be messing with their kids, like sonning their kids, beating on their kids. It says don't provoke your children to wrath. It says fathers, but the authority. A lot of authorities in the black household are women. So still, who's the authority in the household? Whoever's the authority in the household. Do not provoke your children to wrath. And that's not don't make them angry, because discipline will make them angry. It's do not bully them. Do not take away their humanity. Do not be authoritarian. Don't rule over them like a king or something like that. They're still people. You have to teach them their humanity. You have to feed them their humanity. And if you're absent humanity, you know, that's a bad on you. But that's what we got to talk about. And that's what this topic today is leading to. We're going to lead into the super predators to feel its warmth. They burned down the village to feel its warmth. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to get into it, man. But Mr. He said, man, thank you for kicking it. Everybody that complimented the background, I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? I was working on a little something.
Fire.
Yeah, man. Yeah, critically drinking over here, man. So much love to all y'all, man. Mr. He said, would you like to get some final thoughts on this?
Always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure coming over to chill with you and the crew. You know how I feel about you, how I feel about y'all. So shout out to Bree, shout out to Yella, shout out to you. Keep being you, man. Keep doing what y'all do. We love y'all. We admire y'all. You guys inspire us as content creators. And since we came in the door, we've been with y'all. We've been, you know, that seminar. Look to the left, look to the right. Like y'all were there. So we have a certain esteem for y'all. So shout out to you, man. And this platform that you provide. And thank you for having me today. Rest in peace to my brother C. Alhamdulillah, brother, my Muslim brother. I appreciate you, and continue to guide us, man. We got you.
And for sure, man. Much love to Brother C, man. One last time, see that laugh and that grin of his, man. We definitely miss it. It was good to hear. So thank you for bringing up that video too. It was just good to hear his voice, and Brother Vaughn got to hear his name, got to hear my name called. So it was always a good time over there, just getting to sit and talk and listen to the elders and the wisdom and experiences, and even Vakoda when he would come over, and like Vakoda would take the conversation a whole different way. So man,
Rico,
man,
shout out to Rico, man.
Rico is crazy,
Yes.
man. Him, and I promise you, man, I love some Rico. Him and full throated and long stroking. Those two terms I can't not
Lord
hear when I
Jesus.
think about Let's
Lord.
Talk to Better Black Life. Long stroking
That's
and they need to give a full throated apology. I'm like, why I gotta be full throated? Like,
Yeah,
can't it just
that's wild. That's
it's
wild
just
work right there.
yeah. Oh my God, man. So shout out to Rico, man. Definitely miss my
Yes.
guy Rico, man.
Absolutely.
And Mr. Platform over there. So we're gonna have a few more conversations, man. Make sure we open it up, and if people want to come by and reminisce, and if we detour, that's cool too. So man, much love to everybody out there in the chat. We getting ready to head out of here, but don't forget though, Mr. He said came up here and talked a good game, but
I did.
we remember this.
Don't do good, nothing good for nobody. Get everything for yourself. Fuck everybody. It's all about you. Fuck the world. Be a demon.
I'ma sell you at it on the radar. Time for power streamers, racing to